Alright, hello and welcome to Tales of Confusion for the 9th of April 2021. How are we all doing? Bear with me 2 moments, I'm just going to make sure things are actually working okay. Because there have been a few bits and pieces that have gone wrong when I've streamed previously, at least the last couple of attempts, so I just want to make sure things are going okay. Hi, Rumi. In the meantime, though, we appear to have enough in the queue for a match, so I'm going to start one up. This is Solar, Prospero, Rise, and myself, random seat, and let's begin. And as things start up, I will add more games on. So, fairly tough starting table. Let's see how this goes. Hello, 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 hello. Okay, well that appears to be all working at least. Let's just make sure of one other thing before I go any further. Hey-o! Yes, Debbie's also here. She's unfortunately missed the first game, but hey, she'll be around for the second. Alright, starting off, South Seat with 2 completed sequences. I'm risking a North reset, but I think this is fine. So, potentially Chanta, potentially Junchan. More likely to get Junchan here, if we can. Depends on if we draw a free. If we draw an early free, an early 1 or 3 so, we might be inclined to go for the Chanta Sanshku. Yeah, okay. Or Junchan Sanshku, which is Mungan, possibly Hanuman. Technically not shirking work because of my lunch break. Indeed. Don't know if that's an up or a down in this case. I mean, admittedly, we can still cut the free ones for pairs if we need to. But Junchan Sanshku would be ridiculous for a start. Alright, so we've got a pair. So if we can get Ipeiko, Riichi Peiko, that would be it. It's a little disappointing based on the value the hand could have had, but... okay. What should I be cutting here, honestly? Dora helps. Junchan would be of a lot higher value. We don't have a pair of the what? Well, actually, we do have a pair of ones. I'm going to stall. I'm fairly certain that this is the wrong move, but we're going to see if we can... We're going to see if we can catch the high-value hand here. Because we can always cut the free. We have a pair of ones if it comes to it. Though we would need the last one now to make that a definite thing. And we have a 6-9 for a pair weight if we get any further developments here. We can cut the 1-2 or the 1-2. But honestly, I've gone back a step, avoiding a 2-hand hand for a potentially bigger one. But I need a lot to work in my favour to get that. Okay, so that helps. 4-pin is our worst draw right now because that puts us off the Sanshku chance. But this has now given us a huge hand, so we can reach Dora. If we draw that last one. Okay, I can do that. But this is potentially a monster hand if we can pull this off. But we are reliant on a single tile to improve things, or the Hellweight 1. Either of those, we're in. Toss Fedora. Even without reach, this is Junchan Sanshku. 7 from hand. And one Dora's just been played, so we got a little bit of safety margin with this. Okay. We got safety for the 1. That makes it less likely, though. And also, tossing the Dora into that seems bad. We had big dreams, but there's no point in us doodling into that. We can still get Sanshku, potentially, to rescue something from this, but... But if we have a potential for a hand-on hand without a reach, then it's probably worth an attempt. Actually, no, it wouldn't have been hand-on, it would have been Mahjong 3 and 2. We wouldn't have kept Vidora. Alright, we've played that. Yeah, I think we're just out of this one. Dealer Reach will respect that and play around things. So 3 2s, 2 1s. 7 was played pre-reach and he's secured something there. Yeah. It's unfortunate, but I think that's correct. I don't think there was a discard that puts us to Tenpai even with that, so actually, no, it wouldn't have done. Yeah, 2 pairs, but we'd need extra help to get Tenpai. So that's fine, we just folded out that. We missed the chance at going for the half. 3-5-2-6 Dora weight. So we wouldn't have been able to do anything on the door anyway, so it's absolutely correct decision to fold. And we didn't draw... Well, actually, we eventually did draw that last... No, we still wouldn't have got there. We could have offered the free discard, admittingly, but that's fine. We lost the chance, but, you know, it was a long shot anyway. And we got reasonably close. I don't think we could have played that much differently and got any better results for it, so... Let's see. Bit more of a normal hand. Prosper's gone for the early attack. We've hit a double. We'll go 1 for the moment. So 7 gives us a double there. 4 gives us the 3-6 pair weight. Still got a potential Ipeco. Not going to do anything with the dragon. Come on, 7 dots. For some advancement, please. Or something connected to the 5 is probably fine. Okay. For it is it's our riskiest loose tile at the moment. Four's what we want to be drawing. Rather than calling it, but that's fine. I suppose we could have called that, I suppose, and just gone for a Tanyo attack to be dealer. But against the early aggression, we probably need to cover ourselves a little bit. Okay, that's probably fine. I mean, Tanyo Door 2 is absolutely fine. I don't know why I'm not necessarily going for this a little harder. Possibly Heiko Reach for Mangan, I guess. But we have a way to go. And we are not drawing a lot of helpful stuff. That, however, counts as helpful stuff. Probably should cut the 5 rather than that, but we're going a little safety here. We know the 7's safe, so we'd prefer to be on the 4 if it comes to it. Actually, no, we wouldn't be able to do that. We need to cut for pair we don't have. Pair of 5s. Well, we can get the 9, and that gives us back to Tanyo. So, Tanyo, pin to Ipeco. If we draw a 6. Draw a 6 is actually a reasonable enough hand. I might not go for this. Reaching? I don't know. What are we improving it to? Well, we're pursuing solo with a safe tile if we do this. In the meantime, we're just going to play our safe tile, at least for turn 1. The 9 should be safe, based on what he's discarded, but... we can also call a 6, cut the 9, and go for that if it comes to it. Try and snipe a open Tanya or 2. Would we get the 5 past this? Reach, Pinfu, plenty of outs. I'm gonna go for it. I'm gonna go for it. 2 draws. Let's see. Definitely risky, but... Give away 1,000. Oh well. Oh well, risk versus reward. We didn't lose out that much considering we weren't the dealer at the time. Now we are the dealer. Let's see if we can make any kind of inroads. It's not a bad start. Let's cut 4-man since it's the loosest tile at the moment. That isn't bonus. So, I mean, potentially this could be 2 draws reach, depending on how this goes. White dragon. Alright, that's less than ideal, but we'll play the East now. Need to develop things here. Alright, some Sozis that aren't pairs, please. More pairs. Do I just go the... I mean, this is our 3rd pair draw in a row, and I don't like... Yeah, okay, let's go for it. Let's go for it. Why not? We can still go for other things if it comes up to that. It probably is going to be faster the moment we draw anything like that. But we draw on literally pair in a row. There we go. That actually undoes things. So now we've got ourselves back on track. Ones to get rid of. If we can get rid of these, we might... Actually, no, we can't go for Tanya. But it's probably still safe to get rid of the ones anyway. Alright, red does nothing. We can't do anything with that. We've hit some Dora. That is a little annoying. Well, we're getting rid of the ones anyway, so we're going to hedge and hope to draw a 2-pin. And then we'll probably get rid of the 7-8. Double run with that. Yeah, 7-8 then. Am I to take the personally? I assume getting rid of the red, but okay. I can't remember exactly what I said, so I don't know. Probably not. Red does nothing. It does nothing in this hand. What is red doing for this? I clearly didn't mean you. Alright, come on. 2-pin and reach for Pinfu. No. Oh, that gives us some options here. Well, that should be working. Admittingly, that is your own problem, though. And you're here with us, and we prefer you to be here. Indeed, and you are entitled to do nothing. Alright, come on, 2-pin. Hello, Egan. Well, we're pursuing into this then, I think. So it's our second pursuit against Solar in a row. Is he just going to take another 1,000 points off us? He'd take more, though, because obviously we're dealer this time. So this one matters. Well, it worked in last time. T5 so. See, we could have been on the red pair weight, then it would have done everything. Alright, Frostbro is staying safe. Question is, will we draw versus this Riichi, whatever it is? 3 more draws if we get that long. I'll take 1,000 points off Rise, thank you very much. Hitting the red 5 also, so additional bonus is going on. Mahjong for 12, first big hand of the game, and we will take the lead with that. Alright, triplet the ones. We have what looks like a very strong start. We got another ish hand for Chanta, Junchan. Happened to me last game. Rise has no right to complain at me getting that luck. Oh wow, okay, so we have Junchan. We're luck into a 9 here. We're not that... I mean, then we'd have to cut a 1 actually for prepared. That solves it, so... Oh, how committed am I to this? We can cut this because we know we're going to need to cut 1 anyway at some point. Repair, so we can afford to wait. But Junchan, Ipeiko. Two away. Technically not what we need. And if you draw 2, get rid of that, draw 9, then we got, well, draw a 7, then we got the Pintu Heiko side of it first, which is probably... Alright, so that's probably killing off our attempts at this hand. We're probably just going to go for the Ipeiko, or Ipeiko Pinfu. So come on, 7 man. Oh, we could have managed it, but again, probably still correct to get rid of a 2 in that position. I mean, if we can go 8-9 and snake this up, that would be nice. Especially as that's Dora. But right now, Ipeiko is fine. Okay. So if we draw a 6, what can we do with that? Start cutting the 9s and go for a different Sanshiku, I suppose? Wow. That having been done, let's see. Because now it's open and I can get Junchan and Sanshiku. Oh, all the 8s are gone. Okay, that probably means we have to just finish a hand. Red is safe to Solar. How much is this worth it? Because there's only 1 8 left. So cut 6, cut 5, gamble on it. I don't think it's worth it. It really isn't. I mean, open sand isn't worth much, and now we've got to worry about this. The 8's almost never going to be completed. With 1 left. But we can hell wait 7. Let's put some pressure on him. Dora free, put some pressure on. Make him fold this hand. He won't fold it, unfortunately, but you know. CG trap up. Have we just dealt in with that CG trap, though? Yeah, this I could have probably been passive on. We had E-Paker only against the Dora free hand. Yeah, we could have passive that. We gave away a manga without necessarily needing to. He's hit Dora 4 with that as well, hasn't he? Well, we gained 12, lost 8. So, well, 8 and a bit. So overall, we still had a positive dealer turn, I guess. That was over. I shouldn't have gone for that after the Dora 3. Still, got greedy. Jun-chan is my weakness, I've got to be honest. Jun-chan is definitely my weakness. A tournament with almost no stakes, I've got to be honest. The stakes is a small little plastic trophy, which I just put a name on a sticker on. Technically, it's something I've been running for about 5 or 6... Actually, how long have I been running this? About 6 years now. Yeah, and it's just a casual, beginner-friendly Mahjong tournament thing that I'm running. Also, I haven't checked this out. Currently, we only have Kung Pao, Debbie, and Aegon queued up, but we will see if we can increase the numbers a little bit later. So 9-5 behind Sailor at the moment. Still in a reasonable second. But not with a great hand. Let's get rid of 4. Okay, pair of 8s. We have a 9 in that position. Because we've got a pair of 8s. This is more likely to be a useful shape than keeping the 9. Free, it's closed either way, but I guess it's got technically more options than a 9-7, especially with an 8 played, so we'll get rid of a 9-7 here. And rewarded. Okay, so slightly better open weight there. Just need something in the middle Pinzu, and then we should hopefully be good. Still a way to go, but cheap Pinfu hand would be fine. Well, we have 2 pairs. Let's get rid of the 1s. We'll lead ourselves into Tanyo, just so we got the option of starting calling Rice's discards a little bit more. But I have a feeling this is probably going to be a hand we're going to be bailing out of in a few turns. So they're lamenting the fact that the game is trying to lean him towards a natural Chinitsu, and he just doesn't want it. Okay, 2 to go. Ishanten. Eight-man, 4-pin, 3-pin. 3-pin ideally, because it allows us to keep the pin 2 side of things. So we can also call the 2-5. Put ourselves into a pair weight. With 4 outs. Not the best, but we're in late game now, so we can afford to call for something and try to get a late fold. Does Itsu mean not a legal hand? Itsu is a 1 to 9 straight. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 in the same suits, which is very much a legal hand. 1 Han if it's open, 2 Han closed. And if you can pull off, and it's not something you normally want to go for, just outright calling it, but it's a useful upgrade to a Pinfu style hand. Or possibly a Honitsu if you've got a ridiculous one. Alright, 6-pin, 3 Peiko. gonna call it because Tenpai. That was a long pause for Prospero there, so goodness knows. But he's dealt in with me with that, so that's fine. Tanyo Nomi. 1,000 points, moves the game on. Secures my second place a little bit. Puts me in Mangan range of... No, not quite. Just outside Mangan range from Solar. By Mangan range, I mean just winning a Mangan off of Prospero or Rise, or a Sumo gives me 10,000, so Mangan Sumo does it, but I always assume the Mangan hit range. Still, we have 1 Dora, and we have 2 Dora. Okay, this is a hand that can potentially come back here. So, luck into a 7, luck into a 3. We'll see what happens. 1 white dragon's gone, unfortunately, because that'd be a good shortcut in. Keep the red a turn or 2. See if we can make any inroads on there. Most likely getting some development around the Manzu. Yeah, technically counts. Oh, Sanshiku's is a possibility. 6, 7, 8. So draw a 7, hope to draw a 5 to keep both Dora. See what happens. Oh, that's tempting. That is tempting with 2 Dora. Alright, this might be overly aggressive, but I have 2 Dora. Open Sanshiki Dora 2 is enough to knock Solar off the dealer turn. Because the one thing we don't want is Solar picking up another win while he's ahead and on the dealer button. So we're going to go for this. Red Dragon. Okay, thankfully it wasn't Solar advancing with that. So, looking okay. Have a sort of pair now. Alright, 2 calls from Prospero. We've got to be aware of what he's doing at this point, because we don't want to deal into a Honitsu and go down a 3rd. But he didn't do anything with a 3. There was no call on the 2nd, so I'm thinking he's on Dragon only. Or if he's on anything, he's got Dragon and maybe a Dora. He might also just be doing a cheap hand to try and just move the game on here. Oh, we're going to follow up with a 2, unfortunately. Yeah, it's a little awkward. I'm also thinking he might be on a Chanter, which makes for 9 tricky. Not impossible, but... We'll try the 9 now. No, it passed, but there was a pause. So he's got some high Sozu. Oh, that is a great draw. That is a great draw. Strictly speaking, the 1's better for efficiency, but... I'm happy for Ishanten in this position. The problem is, 7-man and Friso are not likely to come out of Rise with 2 calls out. Or maybe they will. Maybe it will now. Okay. Well, it's safer. But Tanyo Dora 3 with... Oh, God. Okay, fine. That's okay. That actually probably helps us a little bit more. Dragon 2 Dora. So 39 won't put him into 2nd, but does put Solar a bit close to us. Solar's no longer the dealer. I'll take it. You nearly gave me Dora 4 though, which I would have called. I would have called if that hadn't been the winning tile for somebody. 2 Dora and a very nice start. Okay, we're in the south round as well, so it's worth remembering that. Double south as a possibility. We've also still got 2 people currently queued up. We are waiting on 2 more. Yeah, I mean, Solo's got a point that he is dealer and he up against that, but you have to situationalize that with the fact you're up against a guy with 2 calls and already has Dora showing. So it's going to be awkward if we wait on the Friso here, but I'd still take the Reach in this position with 2 Dora. If it was an actual Suanko, fine, but you're already shouting. Well, thankfully we can pursue a Reach with Prospero if this comes up, but we want to be on the other side of this, I think. Yeah, this is an awkward one to pursue here. Prospero's got some momentum behind him. It's a bad Reach, but we're going to take it anyway. Friso only for 2 Dora. Our hand's valuable enough that I think this is worth it. I'm just hoping he's got an early one that isn't very good, because that means we're also on a Reach that isn't very good. Also, this is Reach to become dealer, so it's always worth pushing these. Okay, maybe not against 2 Reaches here. Points going to Rise would be fine. Oh, Dora Dragon! Okay, Dora Dragon pass. That was horrible. Okay, so that's unfortunately dropping us to 2nd, but is giving us that. Oh no, it isn't. Okay, it's only a... Oh, admittedly with Reach Sticks. Yeah, no, with Reach Sticks he gets it, I think. Well, I had a freehand hand, so, you know. Alright, we've got 2 Souths. We've got Adora. Let's see. Gap to Solar 5-6. So freehand is enough for us to overtake him at this point, regardless of anything else. We'll keep the East for a turn just to see. No, I mean, it's tempting to call early, but we need the South. Or if I had the pair of East as well for double Yaku High potentially, then I would probably be calling things. But not for a single at this point. Alright, we're going to slightly improve things up there. We can still do a 7, potentially get rid of one of the sides of this, 9-8. 2 East are gone, so East is out. Alright, let's go for this. South Dora 1. Needing the South is a bit of a problem, but we'll see. Do not like that Rise is challenging this, but hey. He might also have a pair of Souths, although admittingly he doesn't need it because he's got North. Good draw. Ishanten. Actually, no, it's not Ishanten. We need a pair. Darn it. Don't have a pair. We'd still call South, of course, but, you know. Then we just need to pair up something, preferably with a 2-pin. Okay, interesting information there. We're going to keep this on the basis that we might be able to do this. Drawing another 4 gives us that secondary pair. We can get rid of the 5, 6, especially since Rise is stone 5 to be safe. Let's eye. Well, south for a doorway. Not the best of things in the world, but you never know. There's a possibility the souths are in the wall. For a 10. Got it. We'll take it. Problem is, we're also going to south call into a free pin. Oh, and there's a reach across the table from us as well. Well, let's stay for a 10. I mean, to be fair, it's not the worst thing in the world for us at this point. That's a problem. That's still a problem. So they got to have a pair of souths. Solar has to be on a pair of souths. That is very risky into what Rise is doing, but I need the tempo. So south waiting on 2 pin. Riichi on the 7. Okay. Exciting things have happened. Unfortunately, Solar has won that, and that is probably game for him at this point. Hanneman while on dealer as well. Well, that's the way Mahjong goes occasionally. We couldn't have gone more aggressive on that, unfortunately. It was entirely correct, but alas, 2 hands to make up 3,500 on Prospero for second place, though. Right. East out. We again have a 7, 8, 9 Sanshikyu potential. And also, after this game, I will turn the light on because I clearly need to. I mean, how many times is the game going to taunt me with Jun-chan possibilities? Admittedly, this isn't a Jun-chan. This definitely isn't, but... Oh, god damn you, Rise. Well... Let's assume Rise is playing sensibly here. Or at least let's assume Rise is doing his thing. We're going to assume Sanshikyu here. Well, why not? This entirely benefits Solar. I don't know what Solar is worrying about with this. This actually is entirely what you want. You're a massive way in the lead, and the player in last is the one attacking. Now I'm going to keep going for it. I'm assuming Rise is on an incidental tile. We've just been ignoring it, so... What I mean by incidental tile is it's probably nothing that he is relating to with that, with his discards at the moment, so nothing I can read into. I mean, it's very possible he's on a single one-way. No, I was about to say it was possible he's on a one-way. That possibility is gone. Could be on an east because I played one very early on. Again, I can't read into it, so I'm not going to. I'm just going to continue on with my own plan, which is how you're supposed to play against this type of hand. Gonna let that go. We have 4 pins that we can play if we want to. But, yeah, okay, we can do that. So we can cut 1 pair for another pair. For another pair, potentially. One West has been played. Yeah, we're gonna sidestep that one because West is also Rises Wind. Unless we hit Tempai here, I don't think we're going to be playing West. Okay. Correction, we're playing West. The real answer is going to be something along the lines of Rice has actually somehow managed to throw a 10 reach on the 3rd Drift Guard. Which frankly would be so amazing that if he's actually done that, that is ridiculous. Reach! 1-9 left. Okay, so he was in a slightly better weight than Prospero with the 2nd reach actually having the worst rate with that. I had probably the worst of anybody. Although it got a little better after that Khan. Alright, well, no change. Slightly closer to the lead, but not really doing a lot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This is not a good Kokushi hand. It is a good hand in terms of the fact we have 3 Dora. But this is going to need a lot of work to get anywhere. Well, let's go 8 for the start of this. We are not committing to the Kokushi here. We are just trying to see if we can get the Honitsu, which is far more likely. If we can pair up any of the honors we have, then that's what we're going for. And if we can keep drawing Sozu tiles, that is exactly helping us out on that path. Super obvious hand is super obvious, but at this point, it's exactly what we need. Good evening, Kyril. Yep, obvious hand is super obvious. I'm in fact going to keep on with this plan. It was a red 5. Oh, currently you're the only person in there. Debbie has wandered off, apparently. Alright, so we badly need to pair up something here. I mean, this is still first game. It's been a bit back and forth. I had the initial lead, and there was a Hanneman while I was... you're no longer showing the queue, Debbie. There was a Hanneman while I was dealer, which unfortunately put me behind Prospero, and now it's sort of an ending battle at this point. There have been some interesting decisions. I've nearly had Junchan Sanshouku twice in 2 separate hands. Narrowly missing out on the first one. The second game was over too quickly to really be an opportunity, but it was possible. And at this stage, we are just looking to see... Yeah, let's play North. Just looking to see if we can arrange anything else here. Green is tricky. Also, Prosper calling North is interesting, so he's on a half flush as well. Yeah, no worries. Yeah, we'll call that. Have an East. Yeah. That is unfortunate, but if he has the triple, then that absolutely makes sense. And he had the Honitsu as well. Ugh. Had to go with that, given the points gap. Now we're in a battle for 4th. Alright. Well, 1, 2, yeah, this is another bad starting hand. Oh dear. Okay, well, best wishes, Kyril. And absolutely no worries. think this is 7 pairs double Dora territory rather than Kokushi, especially with that. But if we want to make people think we're on a Kokushi hand, then that's probably a reasonable assumption at this stage. Alright, greens are out. I mean, I don't really have a plan at this point. This is just hope I draw the right tiles, which is always a good plan. But yeah. I'm not really planning on masking anything with this. Well, are you backdooring into something significant here? I'm not sure. Depends how many more pairs we get, if in fact we get any at this stage. Well, that's a pair dropped. And keeping this mostly for the possible Itsu, which is, obviously it's a meme and a thing I do out of silliness, but actually going for additional Yakus here is probably what we want to be doing. Or just at least poking into additional ones. Okay, Ishanten. I only have one more draw left. There's no point in shenaniganing for a potential upgrade. And that's done. Oh, we have one more shot. And need something kind of ridiculous. Let's see if we can get something kind of ridiculous. Not really. Okay. Well, hand to secure third then. Or a West reset. Nah, West reset's gone. Follow white for the moment. 9 doesn't help us a great deal, but... Nope, your secrets shall not be explained. Not now, not ever. Actually, it didn't even come up as a moderator fail, so that's just YouTube being YouTube. Besides, you're a moderator anyway. I think you bypassed that. Anyway, we have an early reach from Prospero to worry about, which, I mean, technically secures us third, I guess, but a little disappointing. Oh, we can play red against it because Solo decided to take the risk. He might have a couple of them just in case, but that was a really dodgy discard to give the player in second any Patsu on you. We're going to have to play out, unfortunately. We're not close enough to anything here. If I can't, I do nothing. That's the problem. If I can't, I do nothing as well, so yeah. Well, that was my only chance of getting any significant value here, but I was probably not catching Prospero or Solar anyway. My big concern is his rise on something. Because any point exchange between Prospero and Solar, direct hit doesn't really affect that too much. And if Prospero wins, me and Rise lose the same amount of points, so that is fine there as well. Yeah, not much I can really do. Hence why I'm just accepting the fact that I'm probably third here. Unless Rise pulls off a win, which is giving up momentum to him admittingly, but he's got to go into this to do it. That being said, I'm running out of safe tiles at a rate of knots. We'll risk the 2-man. That's all I can really do with this sand, unfortunately. I mean, to be fair, if I'd had those 2 Dora draws far earlier, then I might have been able to try something. Oh, there we go. Thankfully, I'm safe for a turn, and probably safe for 2 turns. Well, I was thinking more the 4-pin, but yeah. Alright. Haite and Rise takes a well-deserved number of points. Unless something happens here. Nope. Yeah. I couldn't really do a lot with that. Well, that happens. Well, we shall prepare ourselves for another one then. We have an Egan who's been waiting, but he's the only person currently showing in the queue. I know Debbie was there earlier, but she's either disconnected or whatever. And in the name of shuffling this around, we'll see who turns up. Well, currently it's Egan and the 4 people who were in the game last time. So I'm going to need a dice, but also I'm going to turn the light on. Bear with me 2 minutes. Okay, let's see if seeing the tiles actually makes a difference. Alright, refreshing. So we'll get Aiden and Debbie into a game, and then I will do some roll-offs to see who goes in. Right, there is Debbie. Okay, so let me find... I'll move my bag of dice downstairs. Well, I have a d6 here, so we're just going to have to keep re-rolling. Right, 1, 2, 3, 4. Myself is 1. I roll a 2, so that's Rise. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. To determine the other one. And it is Prospero. So this is going to be Aegon, Debbie, Rise, and Prospero. Game begins. And now I have to wait 5 minutes and observe things. Or I could go downstairs and actually just check on what Debbie's doing behind her shoulder and give her advice. That seems like a wrong thing to do, though. Maybe. I'm going to step away from the keyboard for a couple of minutes because I have to anyway to observe the match. Right. So I'm going to be back 5 seconds and get some insight into what's going on. And offer no help whatsoever. Whatever you draw. Right, game wasn't loading, but I gave her some useful advice. Basically, she should can everything. Can you join? You can join. We are, however, currently waiting on additional players. We currently only have 6. But myself, Solar, and Starfield End would be free. We just need one more at that point. In the meantime, we're going to observe the other game that's currently going on. Debbie, win already. No, I just told her to can everything. There we go. That's the only advice she needs. I mean, she got knowledge of Itsu earlier, so, you know, knowledge of Itsu and Carnage, those are the 2 things she needs. It's probably not the best Mahjong advice I've ever given, but, you know, it's advice that I feel is well suited to the to this lobby and how it tends to play. Oh dear, 3 minutes. How's the stream quality been, just as an FYI? The problem she's got is that she doesn't play often enough, except during these sessions when she's around. So she actually is relying a lot of luck than other things. Did Aegon do any better than the other times? I mean, Aegon has a 10 down Aegon state he goes into when he needs to be serious. That being said, getting him into that state, we've only managed a couple of times during certain team tournaments. But yeah. He does have tendency to play a blinding game despite his lack of knowledge of the game. Oh, actually, that's something I could have been doing. I could have been reviewing some of the game. Actually, let's just go and quickly log for Kyle's benefit, then we'll go and observe. So, the first couple of hands he missed. Let's just go for that. So I had a big opportunity in East 1, which, let's just follow myself here. So, I mean, pretty much a nothing hand, but in about 3 turns, I had something that looked like this. And yeah, this is me now genuinely debating whether I am going for a Junshan Sanshikyu for this hand. Ultimately, with that draw, that was pretty much confirmed. Cut the 3 there to give myself additional options, because obviously Dora, and I still have options of potentially just drawing a 1 and just going into a weird reach. There's a few dodgy potential decisions after that. I could have kept the 7 and been on things. Unfortunately, there wasn't enough time for it, unfortunately. I kept the 4 here, discarded a 9, because at this point, we were getting to late game. Rise had just reached. So at this point, I was pretty much out of it. But that was... It was close. I wouldn't have got it if the draws had just continued on naturally, but again... It was a Junshan Sanshikyu from that. I mean, it was worth keeping because I still had a loose tile to get rid of. I did, you know. Anyway, I don't think anything much happened here. Let me just have a quick flick through. This is Solar's big win. just flick through this. What was he doing? Was this the early reach? Nope, this wasn't the early reach. Oh, this is the power of pursuit reach. So goes through 2 turns. We hit Tempai on the next draw. Rise is a good hand. Decided to pursue and Sumo. Which, you know, I was pursuing. I had a 2-sided reach with enough outs, so that was just going for that. No, exactly. And to be fair, I was still looking at other options. Alright, this was my second attempt at going for a Junshan Sanshiku nonsense. Although, admittedly, this one was a bit more optimistic. And we ended up going for something that was definitely not that in the end. But I was looking at the opening hand and thinking it was possible again. So this is us with our big win of the game here. The only real massive win we managed to pull off at any point. Reach and another pursuit reach that failed. And we hit the red 5 as well, which got us up to Mangan as dealer. So first big hand of the game. Beyond that, I do not believe I appear on the scoring sheets again. So let's just have a look through that. So, no, actually, I dealt into a Mangan here. Where did I deal into this? Oh, no, this is the one. Yeah, this hand. Yeah, this I got a little greedy here. I'm not going to lie. But, you know, I could have been more greedy with it, admittingly. Ended up reaching on the 9 here just to try and complete something. It was a bad reach, admittedly, but late game, hell wait. I figured why not. What I had accounted for, or what I should have accounted for, is that obviously Soda just called the triple Dora. So this is a bad reach in that context. I could have just played it out and just gone for the Ipeika only, and then played safe around things. Yeah. Would I have triggered 5 as a safe tile? Maybe. Maybe not. I'd already played 2 of them at this point. So, yeah. Ultimately, I was probably correctly punished for trying that hand. Because, I mean, if I'd have actually stuck with a Junshan plan and actually got it, I wouldn't have got it. But, you know, if this was a Junshan hand or Junshan Chanter, Sanshiku, something of that nature, then it was probably better. Yeah, probably. But anyway. Yeah, that was my Mangan deal in. I don't think I'm on anything other than a single 1,000-point win somewhere down the line. And then I just didn't get points after the rest of that and dealt into Prospero in South 3. But I think this was my Honitsu attempt from nowhere. Yeah, I just dealt in with an early East. North was called. Obviously not a bonus tile. He was obviously waiting on some form of it and had a slightly faster hand than I had. Oh yeah, well that is some rapid fire analysis of things. Still. Hopefully enough time has passed and we'll see if Debbie has kept to my advice and canned everything. Also, we are waiting on one more and I can actually play another game. Alright, Aegon is already on the timer. And we're going to follow Aegon here. So, what are we looking at from the 8th Dan Aegon plan here? I mean, Debbie has a hand that could potentially do some carnage later on. Multiple pairs, 789. 789 Sanshiku, potentially. Draconis! It's been a while. Alright. Aegon, though, is on the timer here with 2 Dora. And a hand that I wouldn't consider too bad. Yeah, no worries, Kyril. Absolutely no worries. Prospero, single Yakuhai, 1 Dora. North passes. So, a couple of interesting things going on. If the 7 gets played here, which it didn't, but it might have been tempting to just call that as a Sanshiku attempt from Debbie. We'll see if she's done that. In my defense. Okay, Aegon's about to do something massively important and massively good. Alright, Prospero calls. Puts him still 2 away. But has the Yaku sorted out now. Debbie is now 1 away from 789 Sanshiku. Which should also be Chanter. She draws a 1. She actually has a Chanter Sanshiku attempt. which reaching Shanta Sanshoku is Mangan automatically. 1 Ura for Hanneman. But you are up against somebody who has called twice and is still 2 away. But it's making it really awkward to get that Sanshoku attempt, unfortunately. Chances are possible, though. Cut the 8 and hope for a 1? Ah, she didn't. Okay. If you cut you need to cut the 8 there and just hope for an eventual 1 pin. I know there's 1 out, but that's still the better way around, I think, because it gives you the reverse, at least a Tenpai 2,000 point hand to try and cull whatever Prospero's on. Meanwhile, Aegon draws a 7, so he's getting himself slightly closer. But Aegon is unfortunately on the timer, meaning he's failing this one. Hey, you're only allowed to say nice things about my wife. Moderator or not, I've removed moderator status for less. Mostly Aegon, admittingly, but still. Yeah, Debbie needs to call this. See, if she'd called it, she'd have still got around it. She could have gone into a single 9-weight, which wouldn't have been great, given things. Just looking around. Well, we'll see. Prospero still hasn't actually managed a Tenpai at this point. But does have 2 Dora. Which if we'd have had from the start, I might have been able to... Alright, Aegon's gone up to 3 Dora. No, absolutely not. Unfortunately, he discards Fedora 3. So Prospero finally hits Tenpai. Debbie draws a 6. She still needs to probably get rid of that, although now with 3 calls, you need to be slightly more aware of what other people are doing, especially a player with 3. Okay, why did they play forward? No idea! Because he's on the 5-second timer. He's run out of time. That's why. Also, no, you can't be mean about Aegon. How dare you? Only I'm allowed to be mean about Aegon. Well, actually, in fairness, any moderators can be mean about Aegon if they want to. I'm just the one who has to draw the line as to how mean you're allowed to be. Well, looks like Prospero's going to just draw out here unless something happens. So who's just hit Tenpai? Oh, Rise has silently hit Tenpai. Tanyo normally. Now Debbie Carnes gets an extra draw. She at least has Tenpai now, cutting the 3 pin. Yeah, okay. So Yakulus, well, actually not Yakulus, but Tenpai waiting on the 7 at this point. The last 7, of course, but... Oh, I hadn't caught it was Alweight, but I had caught the Debbie's was. Oh well, 3-player Tenpai, and Aegon passes on the dealership for the first round. We, however, are not going to pass on. We are going to follow 10th Dan Aegon to his eventual victory. Oh, Aegon's got a nice start. Yes. Okay, Dora free, North. This is Aegon's to lose now. Let's watch how he loses. Debbie has a horrible hand, and with a call... No, she didn't have enough anyway, but that is the sort of... Yeah. Oh, call this, Aegon. Go for it. Go for it. No, Aegon, you could call that. You could have called that, and probably should have done. So, This is the reverse problem that most players, beginner players, tend to have of calling everything. In this case, you have your Yaku secured. You have the threat out there. You need to emphasize the threat. You need to at least put people on the defensive. And a second call with Dora free showing, a Mungun showing, is definitely the way to do that. Because now people are aware you've hit Dora free, but yeah, absolutely. If nothing else, you're putting pressure on. You have no reason to wait. I don't know. You'd have to ask Egan. Or maybe he's just hoping to draw it himself. Who knows? Indeed. That is a very strong shape he's decided to break up. But hey, absolutely. Meanwhile, what's everybody else up to? Prospero has a bit of work going on for him. He might be looking towards Jin-chan, actually. The hand's coming up a lot today. He's a long way from it, in all fairness. He's probably just going to go for a outside-ish pinfu more than anything else. Debbie, yeah, a bit of work to do. Obviously, her hand was kind of bad to start with, in all honesty. So it's slowly picking up, though. Rise has got a couple of Dora, red Dora, and is looking... I don't know if he's looking pairsy or not, actually. He's only got 3. Probably looking more towards just a normalish hand. From 5 minutes in the future, absolutely. Well, he's getting there. Easy, Shanten. He'll be on a single pair weight, but he's there. And only we will know that he didn't play it optimally if he gets the Tenpai. Or how unoptimally he played it. But this is the power of 10th Dan Egan. Chi, single weight on the 2, which is clearly going to be a snipe for somebody. Didn't take it. Oh dear, this game needs to be submitted for professional analysis. I'm gonna accept that comment of Solar basically face palming the keyboard. Welcome to Tiles of Confusion, and this is why. Anyway, what did Aiden call? Sorry, what did Rise call? Pair of 5s. So Rise is just going for a quick Tanyo attack. Oh god, this is a terrible play, and I love it. If Egan does watch this back later, I apologize. I don't mean to laugh as much, but honestly, this is hilarious. Yeah, there's also a possibility. In which case, why would you call it? Well, I guess it doesn't help him out a great deal, but I'd have probably been fine to keep that. I don't know. Because it was Fedora? Yeah, I guess. I mean, the two is question. Okay, here we go. Egan, go on. Make the right call here. Make the right decision. We know what it is. Oddly, maybe? Because this puts me Shanten for a 2-sided way. This becomes Hitsu. You're listening. You're not supposed to be listening 5 minutes in the past, sir. It's going to confuse you with your current hand. Anyway, Prospero Riichi waiting on a free man. With 1 already played, and Egan with a single one in his hand. Oh, dear. I mean, it is okay, but honestly, you've just got to be aware that we are talking about hands that have in the past. And to not get confused by that. Also, thank you. Yeah, it is a shame. Although, to be fair, if he'd have played this optimally, that wouldn't have been a problem, because he'd have called it. And if he keeps drawing dud tiles for the rest of the game, he won't discard it. Anyway, what's anybody else up to? Rise Sumos, that's fine. So, Sumo 2 Dora. 4,000 points. Game moves on. Alright, sticking with Egan for this round. As we move into West. East 3. Don't know why I said west. Well, of course, Aiden's now west, but east 3. Debbie again has a reasonably slow start, but is dealer, so she'll have to try and do something with that. Early Dragon Call. Couple of pairs. There's options here. Rise has double Dora, and Debbie has a single loose 9. If she plays that early, that's just absolutely what Rise wants. He's also sitting south and has another dragon in his hand. So these are two very nice things that he's got. Prospero calls his own wind, also has a Dora. So the Dora are all out, and it's interesting. Yeah, of course. Of course he did. Debbie with a long time on this 6. At this point, it's still a case of clearing the honor tiles. Or... Well, she's 6 away from it, but if that's what she's going for, then she's already failed because she discarded the north. Well, Rise doesn't take Dora free. Oh, Debbie has a disconnect, and nobody told me about that. Well, that's Toy Toy Dragon that Aegon is deciding to pass on. Demo is here. Okay, so I am going to leave the wisdom of 10th Dan Aegon for a time and replace that with the absolute non-wisdom of my own playing of Mahjong. Alright. Oh dear. Well, let's see how this goes. So, myself, Solar, Demo, and Starfall. So, a potentially powerful table. Indeed. We'll do a full analysis on that game later. Because in fairness, it's actually a relative... I mean, obviously Prospero and Rise are there, but with two beginners on the table sitting opposite, it might be an interesting analysis point. Okay, so we have an off-Dora Wind, and a Dragon. Well, we'll see. If we can pair up either of these two, I'd be quite happy with this hand as it goes. We'll give it a turn or two, see if we can draw a pair of either. But yeah, this is a reasonable start. West or south? Sorry, south. Red or south? Dome or west? Thankfully, the game didn't listen to me. Watch Aegon come back now that we're not watching him. Not interested in that. Another 8-pin that doesn't do us a lot of good right now. We're now at the point of, do we just hold on to it or do we just abandon it? And I think we're now at the point of holding on to it. So we'll probably play red in the turn or two, regardless of what we draw. Alright, we'll go with that. Fair. Well, we can probably play our red as well. One red's been played, so we don't need to worry about proving it ourselves at this point. So we can put a wait a turn and hope that we can get a pair of it, which would be useful. Oh, interesting. Well, we're not quite at that point yet. We might get to that point, but we'll give it a turn. I mean, White Dragon 2 Dora is good enough that we could go for it regardless. Obviously, this would be Dora 3 if it came off, so... Yeah, we're currently canning now. Oh, absolutely, we're canning now. Shanton. Didn't get anything up, unfortunately. Okay, south for the win. I'd probably prefer to be on a multi-sided weight, but we're not going to turn down an extra Dora for the win here. We also can calm the 2s out of anybody at this point, so... Actually, there's a point. We can calm the 2s out of anybody. We can still call. Alright, so who's holding on to a triplet of Souths? Nobody's going to play it at this point, but, you know. Any card is a good card. Probably true in this case. But let's just hope that somebody has to risk South for a reach or something. Or that they're still in the wall, of course. Ah, darn it. You reached for the 9, not the South. That's unfortunate. Alright. This is a really big question here, because... Only one played. He's played no Manzu. Playing a middle Manzu into that seems suicidal, but our only safety option... Two-pin doesn't exactly look great either. So, given those two options, we're just going to play it. Rewarded for being brave. Or at least rewarded for being foolish. I couldn't remember if there was a pause on the 5. That was the problem. I mean, to be fair, I think cowarding was probably a correct option from that, but it was a Mungan hand, which I took into slight account. If I'd have remembered if there was a pause on the 5, I might have been able to use that info, but again, I didn't. This is an interesting hand, but I feel that we are just going to go White Dragon and rush the other 2 out. Okay, Starfall with the East. I played a couple of frees, which is the only reason I felt it was slightly dodgy, and there wasn't anything to confirm it definitely, but yeah, it probably would have been fine. Semi-outside tile towards that point. I didn't have any definite indicators of it. A middle Manzi was definitely more risky. Well, I guess this is Dragon Time. Arguably, Dragon Time was a couple of turns ago, but, you know. Ooh, maybe it's not Dragon Time anymore. Yeah, I think I've left it too late. I'm going to do it anyway, but I feel I've left it too late. Because it's very possible he wants a dragon now. I risk 1. We'll try and hold off for the time being. Okay. Yeah, against 2 calls, I'm happy to just hold 2 definite safe tiles here in case the situation changes, but I imagine we're now folding to Starfall. Said I'm imagining it, actually. This, that's a temptation. 6 is a half Suji. Can we make the 5 pass against him? Probably not. We're going to hold a turn. Because the worst thing is him having something near Alvadora. So, things are there. Alright, drawing that's interesting. And we get rid of the 4. So, Ishanten. Six is safe, so we'll keep on with that for the moment. I don't know if we want to go for this or not. It's looking... I mean, it's a very early half Suji, but that's the consideration here, I think. Right, we think Solar's on something. Let's find out. Demo. But you know what? I'll take a free hand deal in there. I know he's dealer, but... Alright, 7 pin. No need to call that for the time being. I mean, Demo hadn't changed his hand for about 3 turns, so that would have happened either way, I think, but... okay. Well, game has been paused. Probably want to play East at this point anyway. Yeah, it's Dora. We're going to go for it. Tanya Dora, move the closest rival off the dealer button. And additional things I can still call. Yep, head bump is on. That was agreed by everybody. Head bump wins. Yep, free set. So it's got to be Honitsu with the early West. Okay. No worries. Game restored. Oh, sorry. Game restored. What am I calling here? Yeah, we can go for this, I think. Green should be safe. In fact, now green is safe. Alright, 4-5 irregular. Putting pressure on. Just deal into mine. It's fine. To be fair, though, if it is the Honitsu, it's going to be a thing here. I mean, middle tile seems safe to everybody who isn't me. Although Solar's now in. Oh, that's a problem. But we see a couple of those. And a 9. So he's got his. If he's in Pinzu, he's in the low end. And obviously we see where all the 2s, we see where all the 3s are, which might be massively screwing him up. And we hope it is. Alright, number 8. 3 more draws. Possible Itsu up top. Ah, it's the worst style to go into a possible Itsu, but let's go for it anyway. Go for it. Well, we're looking at a 4-player Tenpai here, I think. Okay, pause there. Interesting. And we'll take 1,000 points. Well, actually, 2,000 points. But yeah, I have a feeling that the triplet of 2s, triplet of 3s is definitely screwing up whatever Honitsu attempt Starfall was on. Alright, back into a narrow lead. Oh, head bumped. It's to be fair, head bump has not affected the game anywhere near as much as it should have done by this point. And the fact that we've had 2 in a row, I think, that solidifies that it is the absolutely correct decision. Anyway, we can play west here. We got east and south. 1 east played. Head bump is absolutely fun. It's always fun. Especially when it happens to you and you feel bad. Wait. Nope, I stand by that statement. We have 3 pairs. We should probably be clearing one of those out unless... Well, we'll see. Okay, well, we don't have to worry about that anymore. So draw a 6 and we have... I mean, we can't into a 5 or a 3-6, we basically have it. I told Debbie to always can. We're canning. Well, I dealt into a dragon only, and I didn't give them any bonuses, so it's all good. 2,000. Well, the 2,000 point exchange continues. But I become dealer, so I'll take it. I don't appreciate that card. Well, it's not up to you to appreciate it. I got to follow the advice that I give other people, and I told Debbie to can everything. So I've got to can everything. I mean, to be fair, he'd called already, so that made no difference. Anyway, let's see what we can do with this. Dealership, Dragon. We're going to hold on to those a turn or two. No, this is true, but I felt there wasn't a much... I'd be basically downgrading my hand in terms of acceptable tiles to not take the Khan at that point. So I took the Khan. I didn't have anything that wouldn't have been loose, so I'd have lowered the number of tiles I could increase by just holding on to the card later. I could have just played the 9, I guess, but... Aussie Shanten, there was a shot it would get me Tenpai. And as said, I told Debbie to can everything. I have to can everything. Alright, start off with a long pause on this one. Is he about to reach early for something? That was a good draw. Okay. Ishanten for Tanyo, hopefully. Or at least pin... Well. We'll see. Not just yet. Can't calm this one, of course. All the 2s are gone. Okay. So with that being a thing, I think we cut into these and hope we get something else. Actually, that wasn't a good... Nah, that wasn't the best decision, really. I mean, 3 still helps us, but it puts us for a 10 now, so we're just hoping that doesn't happen. Yeah, I think we're just going to take this. We got Dora now, so we'll just go open. Yeah, minor fluff. But as the Tanyo Dora 2 is not something you can turn down. Oh, wrong side. Ooh, payoff. Dora free as dealer. Probably. I mean, to be fair, Demo could be folding as well here. For free? Maybe not. Starfall could be as well. So, all looking good on that front. Is there a 6 left we can draw is the important question, I think, at this point. Well, there's only 1 9 we can draw, thankfully, so hopefully we won't have to go into that embarrassing situation, but... Yeah, I think everyone's just folding out against us, so that's fine. We'll just take the draw. Yep, I'm happy to just steal a draw in this position. Mangan as dealer would be nice, but you know, can't have everything. I do have the Haite, which would be fun. Come on, Haite. Come on, Haite 6-pin. I'd almost be disappointed if Starfall plays a 6-pin here. Ah, well. Yeah, I mean, it gave us 1 extra thing we could draw, so, you know. Well, still, picked up a draw. I'm still the dealer. I'm perfectly happy to take a 4,000 advantage for not a lot of real risk at that point. Tuesday. So we have a Dora again of an off-wind. And 4 pairs. So, let's see what we can do with this. Probably not play a 7. Pretty much. I've got no objections to this one. The only consideration will be if I draw 9s and 6s, I suppose, or actually complete things here. Then I'll be going for other sorts of hands. Yeah, we don't want to fall. Yeah, calling's a temptation, but we're probably not going to be. At least not the 8. It's what we do. It's what we do when we get away with it anyway. Well, I mean, I'm not expecting it to. But, I mean, if I draw a couple of 9s, it goes in a completely different direction. Just saying. But apparently that's not how it's going. I'm tempted to go west, but there's the value monster in me says don't. So we're not going to just yet. Should have probably got the red rather than that, actually, but it doesn't matter. Yeah, we're not calling anymore. Well, 2 of them are down, so... Yeah, so West is probably getting cut now, but we'll hold off until we get something better. I mean, Hellweight, West would be an interesting decision from here. It actually might be the best decision. The downside is, of course, there's always 14 that aren't in play, so there's a chance it just won't come out ever. But, you know, at this point now, if anybody's got West, they're going to play them. So, gotta hope it's still in the wall. Oh, interesting. Okay, we got enough time. West is the least likely, followed by red, unfortunately. Fortunately, 8 has been played, 7 has been played, so the chances of a mass upgrade is going to be heavily reliant on that. For a 10 means you've discarded your winning tile, so therefore you can't be winning, usually. 8 is better than red in this position, so we'll keep that. Okay, so the Wests are completely out now. North is live. Okay, right. Change of plans, and I've just noticed somebody's disconnected. This is a big moment, so we're going to pause the game here. But, yeah, okay. Interesting. I wish this wasn't covering the way here, because I could check how many are left. I know there's one... it's basically there's one of each of these left, and I'll be waiting on 2 tiles if this comes off. But, yeah, we have to upgrade this hand now. It's fine. Pause for now. Probably. But I can't do that while this is happening. This is why I don't usually turn them off in the first place, sir. Well, indeed. And I mean, I'll take a 6-9 here and just take the possibly Peiko. I mean, it would basically be a worthless hand unless we card things, but... Speaking of which, is there anything we can still card? I haven't been keeping a record of that, but I've not noticed anything since I've drawn these. Need to see what Starfall's discarded. Okay, he's back. Right. Let's restore... Come on. Lucky draw. Lucky draw. That's not a lucky draw. I said can't everything, but not this time. 4 to go. If I'd have drawn it, completely different story. But one of each. Just one of them, please. Four does nothing. 2 to go. Well, I just followed the advice I have given. All right, there's a call from Demo. We call this, we have Tempai. Which is probably the correct decision, but oh well. Yeah, I get one more. No, actually, I don't even get that unless there are a lot of cheese going on. Haite. All right, I'm fine with that. Could have gone worse, could have gone better, but hey, I'm okay with that overall. Yeah, probably, but what can you do? I've got to dream big. Oh, somebody else with some access to the game files can look at that later. But honestly, it doesn't matter what it was. Just discard every win in a row, why not? Indeed. It's not a misplay, he's just going for the hand that can't happen. Well, 2 calls are going on. Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Not going to complain about that. That's just a natural state of being. I had the option of calling them earlier. Of course, I'd had different draws, so wouldn't have got those to that position that way again. And also, 7 pairs was far more likely given the position when those were played. So, that's fine. We have got Freedor in this hand now. So, we've got to start thinking about this a bit more. Still a little awkward, but we can... Okay, a little less awkward now. Let's get rid of the 1-2. See if we can just go into a Tanyo attack from this. Alright, fine. We're not in dealer button, so that is dealer position, so that's fine. Manga drops us to 2008, puts us in a tight battle for set for the win. I did say to always calm. That is the advice I gave Debbie. You were not doing Nageshi for the memes. You were doing Nageshi because you want to try and prove me wrong, and nobody has yet. The hand does not exist. There might be evidence to the contrary out there, but as far as I'm concerned, what I said was the truth. Oh, of course, yeah, I might get back and do that. That might be the end of this. And yeah, we'll just do some proper analysis on Aegon's hand. Meanwhile, South 2, we have the last dealership, so we at least have that going for us with this. Yeah, hoping to draw a 7. Hoping to draw a 2. That'll actually be fine. I mean, that wasn't what I said, but that's actually fine. So we can go south into... Well, we can pretty much go into south only. Hope to get one Dora into this. Seven doesn't do anything for us right now. Oh, I would have called that if I could. No, not going to do that. So I'm wondering if Demo's got a pair of Souths or if he's just calling that for his own value here. He looks like he might be going for a Tanyo of some kind. But 2's playing the free. Well, let's cut that for the moment. If we draw a 7, it's still fine. Oh, I'm really worried about isolating it, but I think we might have to play Vidora anyway for this, unless I... No, we'll hold off a turn. We can still do this. We can still draw a 2 and just put ourselves into a free weight, which is admittingly pretty bad. No point in us calling that. 7 doesn't do anything. Best out at this point is drawing another Dora. Because there are no more 2 men, so... Yeah, I should just play the 1, because there are no more 2 men available, so... Drawing a pair is the only way I can improve that. Yeah, there we go. Alright, let's risk it. He's got Dora free. Nobody's got Dora free. Perfect. Shanten. Alright, Demo with East, possibly East Honitsu. Actually, he probably doesn't have East Honitsu, but East something. Could have East Dragon with 2 calls, but we'll risk it anyway. Alright, extra Dora, 4-7. So South 1, waiting on the 4-7. Thanks for 1,000 points, Starfall. Well, that extra 1,000 might be relevant towards the end of the game, but at the very least it put us above the 30k threshold. So, winning position. We've hit double Yakuhai and pairs and Dora. This is an auto hand. This is an auto hand and a half. Double reach! Yes, we'd have won more on the 1, but how could you deny? Ipatsu Sumo, come on. One time. Double Ipatsu Sumo. No, damn it. I could have even played this silently, but I was happy with just the double Yakuhai, I've got to be honest. And then that. Well, we'll see. I don't think I'm going to win with this, I've got to be honest. But they have 0 information. 7 pairs, 2 Dora, and that is Hanneman already. So, yeah, Hanneman. And we'll see how they can play around it. I don't expect the 5 to come out of anybody, so it's just whether we can draw it and how lucky we get here. But Hanneman chance. Let's go. Yep, you looked away. Yeah, there was the option of going for the 1, I've got to be honest, over the 5, and I was thinking about that for half a moment, but this is automatic Hanneman with a double reach, so I could even have damaged it, but I'm not in the mood to not reach this for the win. This ultimately is a winning hand, so we'll go for it. Just a case of whether we can actually draw the down thing with 10 more attempts. Only the second double reach I've ever got on Soul. I probably don't reach the Akuma ones. Although, in fairness, Suanka you always reach because there's always the chance you'll just get the sound of somebody else. Alright, counter reach. Let's see if we can outrace that. No, not if you keep playing 2s. Come on. Ah! 1 off. Starfall is not going to be happy at this. Starfall is not going to be happy at this. Okay. Well, that pretty much wins the game unless I absolutely blunder this last hand or somebody gets a monster. So, what can we do to speed this along? I mean, it was the difference between Mungan and Hanneman, ultimately, so, yeah. A Mungan doesn't necessarily win me the game. A Hanneman probably does. I think that might not have been what crossed my mind at the time, but that is something that, looking back on it, I can say going for a Hanneman chance, yeah. And it was Hanneman on board regardless of any other factors. So if I'd have got 2 Ura, that would have been Baiman, which again, ridiculous, but you know. Right. So having overplayed that hand, what the hell am I doing here? Holding on to dragons a little too long, I think. Or maybe not. I mean, in truth, I have no reason to play this south, given everything, but... Because I can just hoard it, because somebody else might need it for something. And by somebody else, I really mean Demo. He's the only person I have to concern myself with, really. I'm invincible! Well, Starfall attacking isn't the worst thing for us. Well, maybe we're doing it again. Maybe we're not doing it again. Maybe we're just doing some nonsense. Thankfully, South is safe to that. One's also safe to that. North is safe to that. I mean, it would be a ridiculous end if I could actually pull this off. I don't think I am in the face of the Reach, but I might get a chance. If we get a chance, we're going to go for it. Yeah, against these two. If this is demo on the right instead of solo, yeah, you'll be right. Until we get that shot, though, we're not doing it, but, you know. Alright, 2 pin safe in all directions. We'd have to be aware of what Starfall's up to, I guess, as well. But neither of them are particularly that bothersome at this point. Five is actually safe, so huzzah. 3 more draws. Sorry, 2 more draws. Come on, free so, 4 pin. Red Dragon. How are they not letting power up? It's just not acceptable. Oh well, we're going to end this with nothing, which is fine for us. Only player was Sailor with the 7. And that's game. GG. Interference and bothersome people. That is a good excuse. Well, I mean, that'd have been a worthy thing. I'd have at least gone for it on a good hand. So the game protected me somewhat from that. Life in Mahjong are brutal. I might start up another game, but I'm probably actually going to do analysis on the game we were kind of half watching with Aegon. But yeah, I'm up for at least, if people want to play another game, I will start that up. So I've gone 4-1, which is at least better than what I did last time with 4-2. And then I think that even the second place was a negative score, I think, weirdly. Okay, so we have queued up Prospero, Debbie, Demo, and Solar. So off you go. Good luck all. Meanwhile, let's go to the logs and let's find... Oh, Aegon did survive on 600 points. Not happy about this. Why are you not happy about that? That's a fine table. Okay, so we stopped watching About East 3. So we're going to start from that, from Aegon's perspective here. So, just going to play on as if it was normal. So initial... No, we did watch this. East 4 then. That might be where we got interrupted, but hey. Alright, so still following Aegon. Let's see. Gonna blow things up. Sounds like a good plan. So Aegon here with a very good starting hand, actually. 5, 6, 7 Sand Queue is open. Yeah, I'd be quite pleased with that overall. Prospero, a few things going on. I'm going to pause if I spot anything important or if a reach happens, but other than that, I'm just going to let things go as this pace. Debbie's hand, interesting. A few pairs, a bit pair heavy. We might see what that happens with that. Maybe she'll get to Chitoetsu, the only correct plan. So Prospero calling, discarding the 1, and looking at just being Tanyo is Ishanten for it, so not the worst call in the world. And we'll see. So Rise developing quite nicely on that side. Debbie with the call. Discarding the 9 pin. She's a bit further away, and the 7s doesn't really give her anything useful. She'll have to get rid of the pair of 1s at some point, although it's 2 away, so possibly. Alright, Aegon with a pair of Norths. 4 discard from there. I might have been inclined to keep that. Alright, so importantly here, let's have a look here. So, Rise has Reach on the 8, and yep, has got himself a reasonably nice shape there, waiting on the 4-7 pin. Fortunately, the 7 pins are a bit out, but hey, we'll see. Okay, so Aegon then discarding from the Reach. You generally want to play a safe tile against the Reach where you can. Thankfully, you have an 8-man that you have available. What is Aegon going to discard? The 1-so, which Debbie calls. So, I mean, the calling in this position doesn't do a lot. It forces you into Toy, so all triplets. And it does kill any Ipatsu chance, but Ipatsu is really only a minor hindrance, I guess. It's useful late game to just deny draws, I suppose, but hey. We're not going back to Kyrol's challenge series, are we? Because that definitely fits on the agenda. 7 is a risky discard in that position there. Possible Robin Khan. Yeah, this is true. I did tell Kebby to Khan everything, so actually that could be in a really bad position I'm in later. Khan everything. Oh dear, and then dealing with it. Well, I mean, you can play it here. I just have some weird pseudo bingo board of death games. And there's a deal in from Debbie. We kind of expected that because she was forced to go for Toy Toy. Better Rise picking up the win here. I imagine Rise walked away with this game. I didn't actually pay attention to who won this, but if Rise didn't walk away with this game, I'd be surprised. All right, so East 4. Aegon begins with Double Dora and a possible Itsu shape, but we'll see. Prospero, Dragon, Pair, and actually not a bad starting setup, really. Debbie has got a few loose honors to get rid of, but other than that, looks like a reasonable Honitsu. And yeah, I mean, Rise, 2 Dora, pair of Souths, East round, unfortunately, rather than South, but let's see how this goes. Yeah, I see him going up and down the table every single time. All right, Aegon going for the flat Honitsu, which is absolutely correct. This is correct decision-making going on by Aegon here. Yeah, Aegon has not put a foot wrong in terms of what I would do with his hand. Might have played the 7 a little earlier, I guess. Maybe kept the 7-8. Actually, I didn't know if he had the 7-8. I wasn't paying full attention to that. Okay, so Debbie calls. We know she's on for a Honitsu, or at least a Dragon Honitsu of some sort. So we'll see whether the Dragon comes up. I didn't know if it was a 7-8 or if it was an 8 followed by a 7 later, but... Alright, Debbie has broken up a set there to go for Toy Toy. That's fair. Means you can use that. Obviously trying to keep Vidora. I think he's just not getting any luck with his Honitsu attempt, I think. Yeah. Surprised you didn't call Vidora, though, given that your hand is pretty much there. Prospero Sumos. However, Hatsu only, so not the end of the world for anybody involved. Game moves on. Rise loses his dealership. Aegon dealer turn in the South round. Okay, let's have a quick look at what we're dealing with here. We have pair of East in the South round from Prospero. Unfortunate. Debbie's hand is a little disjointed. Rise, a couple of pairs. Yeah, okay, so some slow hands everywhere, but let's see. Slow hands means there's more tiles to improve them. Okay, getting rid of 7-2 to start with from Aegon, so just culling his suit again. Aegon did go for a phase of just prioritizing single Yaku he knew that worked and just continually going for them. So I'm wondering if he's gone another Honitsu attempt here with 5 tiles at both sets. And yeah, he might well be doing that. True, that's now improved it. Couple of Souths that are going to slow both Debbie and Rise up, although now Rise doesn't need the Souths as much, so he can go without. Aegon might have given up on the Honitsu plan here, we'll see. Having discarded 8, that's a little painful, but he's still a way away from getting anywhere with it anyway. Ah! Why would you play the 5? Alright, Tenpai waiting on Free South. Let's have a look. There's still a couple of frees out there. Not the best weight, but he'll probably change that to a... Oh, actually, he can't really... unless if he draws a 4, he can change it up. But he's played a 1-man, so can't really change it to a 2 thing. And there's the Ron. Waiting the South. I'm not sure why you play the South in that position, because it doesn't seem forced. Unless you're going for Tanya, in which case you've got the 1s you need to get rid of as well. Let's have a look. 4, 5... I mean, she's a way off anything. This seems a bit of an odd one. Well, okay. Rise picks up a few more points. I gave the South away, actually, not the free. Well, a free save, I guess. Yeah. All right. Moving on. Starting hands. Aegon's looks okay. 1 Dora and a pair of dragons. So, potential from the dealer. It's what you want to see as dealer, having Dora and a pair of Yakuhai you can go into. And potential to draw another one there. Debbie's hand looks fairly decent, actually. There's some directions there. And Rise has got an awkward one, depending on how this goes. But we'll see. What is Rise going to do? Play these. Okay, so he's not even considering it, which is the correct play here. Just don't consider it. Go for other things. Or possibly go for a Nageshi. Who knows? Well, Prospero's got the attack on. Debbie is called the 9, which is not helpful in that position because that doesn't provide you a Yaku. So we're going to have the Yaku discussion again, Debbie. You are technically Tenpai for a hand you can't win with. Possible Itsu. No, okay, there we go. Itsu. One man puts you back in the game. You have corrected yourself to a 1-9 straight. I mean, it's Itsu only to become dealer, but that was well corrected. You were in trouble if you hadn't done that. I mean, you're more likely to get Chitoi from it, let's be honest. And if nothing else, you're more likely to have safe tiles towards the end of the game with an 8 start. Depending on how things goes. Alright, Prospero has got himself up to Honitsu, waiting on the 1-3. Unfortunately, that's a loose tile in Agen's hand, so it's likely to be that's where it's coming from. There's for dealing. So Debbie corrected. Not sure the Open Itsu is something you want to necessarily use very often, but it got you out of the initial call blunder, I suppose. So, Agen falls to last. It is therefore going to South 2. Still in South 2, continuing on. So, yeah, Agen's got a decent start. In fact, that's a 4-pair start, and Tanyo options, Toy options, Chitoi options. Yeah. Okay. Prospero then has got a number of loose tiles. We'll see about that. It could be a Honitsu attempt, I guess, depending on how lucky he is with drawing additional pairs of things. Debbie has 2 Dora. No bonus tiles that you can speak of. But, yeah, reasonably. If you can fill in some gaps early on, that'll be fine. Rise, again, has a reasonably good hand. A couple of loose honors. We'll see how this goes. Right, but what will Rise do here? Discards a pair of 2s, which is really depressing when you look at this hand and what it should be going towards. Especially given 8's a looser tile. Although I suppose it's an edge tile, so it's something you want to keep for a... Could get lucky with Ryan Peiko. He could, actually. How are we looking at? Debbie's up to 3 Dora up top, but the hand's still way away from anything. Okay, Debbie calls. What's she looking at then? Tanyo, if she gets rid of the East red, so that's not a problem. Tanyo multiple Dora is absolutely fine. He can get rid of the 5, which was a completed double run, and putting in the 1, which is going backwards a step. And also killing off a potential Yaku. Yeah, I'm paying more attention to what Debbie and Agen are doing. More beginner players. I'm just being honest with this. Alright, so that call puts Prospero Ishanten. Oh, Debbie's technically Tenpai for the C5, but doesn't have a Yaku. Okay. That just slightly confused by that one. Okay. So that call puts Prospero Tenpai waiting on the Freeman. A couple of those in Agen's hand, one of those in Debbie's hand. Yeah, unfortunately. Another 2-fin, which isn't a dealing because, again, Debbie doesn't have that dragon done yet. I mean, in fairness, Debbie needs to pair up the 3-4 beyond that anyway, but... Agen is guarding so many of Debbie's winners. Oh, that's just unfortunate. I'm not sure what the... Well, 3 versus 6. Well, 1,500 points though. So Prospero picks up a small win, continues the dealership. And we move on to South 2, repeat 2. So, ignore that discard. And again, Agen starts with 4 pairs. This, yeah, could be 7 pairs here. Rise has got a double Yakuhai start and a very, very good Honitsu attempt. Yeah, Agen's on Chitoi. Rise could be on Chitoi as well, but at the very least he's on Honitsu. Debbie is on Wish for a Better Hand. And Prospero, yeah, Prospero's also on for a... Yeah, okay. So Debbie's going to lose out big time here because there's some big hands on this one. Yeah, so Bry's just going for the open Honitsu, which is absolutely fair with double Yakuhai. Could have been Chitoi Honitsu. Would have been a Mungan without anything else involved, but... I think you could have waited for the second West at the very least. Alright, so Agen's gone for Toitoi rather than Chitoitsu, which is fine, I guess. I mean, now you've committed, you go for it, and he's now Ishansen with it. But yeah, Rice could have waited. He didn't need to play that West, although admittingly, given how fast the other hands are, maybe that is something that he wouldn't... Well, I don't know. You got no way of knowing that. You could have waited a bit. I mean, it's still not bad. Going for an early Honitsu when you're in the lead is fine. But yeah, exactly. And there is enough points to knock somebody out, I think. Okay, following up with safety here. So what is Prospero actually waiting on? Prospero is waiting on a Edge 7. And also didn't get the Itsu. Boo hiss. Well, that's Rise off, waiting on the 5. I see what hand Agen was going for, and now I'm not sure anymore. Alright, what's Debbie doing at the top at the moment? Nothing... She's not there yet. It's looking like it's just going to be a Pinfu-ish hand if she's continuing. Might be folding out. There's Prospero 7. So we go for another repeat. Yep, true. Alright, so Agen. South 2. Third Homba. Starting with a pair of Souths, which is exactly what you want to see in the South round. Other than that, hand is reasonable. Depends. If you can luck into a North pair, you're probably set. Debbie has Double Dora and White Dragons. This is the kind of hand when you're in low in positions that you dream of when you're in low score points. Just instant Yaku, instant value. That should be a fairly automatic attack. We'll see how that develops. Prospero's hand looks quite good as well, though. Bit to go here. And Rise... Yeah, reasonable. Reasonable enough, anyway. Alright, let's see. He's going to get the attack in first. 6-pin's good. Possibility of a Honitsu for Debbie as well, but that might be a little greedy. Either way, Dragon plus points is something you want to be prioritizing. Yep, she's just going for a completed hand. Gets a Dragon. Draws another 6, which you probably could have kept over the 3-6 that you got there. Yeah, again, keeping both of those would have, over the 3-6 would have been better. I mean, admittedly, the 7's not a great thing to be waiting on, but then you'd have got it anyway. That's a little depressing, given the hand value, the fact you need it. Agen, what are you up to here? Because this is starting to look a little scary. Not gonna lie. Alright, Agen with a Carnage on the south. Opens up the 5 Soa's Dora. Oh wow, this hand. I mean, unfortunately, 2 Norths... Actually, no, you can still do this. You only need a pair on the last one. We know it's not going to happen, but... Oh boy, this hand. Alright, Debbie Sumos. So Dora free, plus Dragon. 8,000 points and a dealership. That gives you a chance of getting back into the game. Okay. South free then. Let's see. There's a lot of shiny things going on Prospero's side here. Yeah, that is a very, very shiny hand and a loose white dragon. Aegon says he's going to get that. Let's see. Debbie, reasonable but not great. Rise, who just needs to basically stay on top here. We'll see. Let's let the game run on. Which is fair. That's all I'm doing at the moment as well, and hoping that Aegon finally gets the reward he needed. I was hoping for the little big wins, but yeah, hoping that Aegon can somehow defy the odds here. Anyway, yeah, it's just a lot of shiny things, and Prospero now has double Yakuhai. I've got to be honest. I'm not looking beyond Prospero for the win here. Although it is taking a while. Sorry, pausing that a moment. Once so played, you have double Yakuhai available. Is there a reason you don't call 2 free? And I guess it's signaling, I suppose, that you are going for Honetsu, but I'd be really inclined to call that. Just take the 2 free. But anyway. I guess Prospero might be also somewhat aware of what Debbie's doing, I suppose. Doesn't want to enter position, but you've got a very shiny hand. Oh, Aegon's lucked into 2 whites, so that is hurting Prospero's chances a little bit. Debbie needs to get... Oh, actually, Debbie doesn't have a Yaku. With that 789 call. Well, Yakulus Tenpai then. Yeah, it is true. Well, hope the game goes on 26 tiles and somebody discards that last one, so... Well, Rise picks up the cheap win. Simples and 1,000 points. And we go into the, well, what I presume is going to be the last set of hands here. So Rise in the lead, in the dealer button. Cheap hand to win. How's he looking for that? I mean, it's not the best hand in the world for going for a quick win, but it's not the worst either. Could go for a quick Tanyo, cutting in the 9-1s. Hope to get some luck there. What does Prospero need? I'm just going to quickly swap over. So Prospero doesn't need much. 2 free just 2 Han hit or a free Han hand, and he's there. Anyway, we're following Aegon and hoping that he can pull off the miracle of a... well, actually, Gakumen Sumo, I think, gets him second. But, oh well. We'll hope for that dream anyway. Let's play. You can Yakumen from this. Maybe. You can't, but we hope so. Alright, playing a couple of 4-5s. So again, culling a suit, which is something I've seen Aegon do quite a few times. Meanwhile, Rise is getting there quite nicely. Single weight Suanko would do it, I think. Yeah, double Yakumen would definitely do it. Is it? He'd only gained 36, so he wouldn't overtake... Oh, no, actually, 8,000 down. Yeah, no, that would work. Yeah, because it'd be 16.8, so he'd lose 8,000, 32, so 40,000 exchange. Yeah, that would be it. Multiple Yakumen are on. The very least, if they're on by default, they're on here. Yeah, so you gain plus 40, which is what I miscalculated with that. Unfortunately, that's a straight deal into Debbie, who just had the open Itsu. So we did have a possible Itsu. Hello, Mono, who I assume has been working. So definitely not late. But that is the return of the 10th Dan Aegon, who wasn't fully able to show his skills, but very nearly pulled off a Yakuman. Alright, no worries, sir. Right, are there any games in progress? There is a game in progress, so we're going to watch that as well. So let's see how this is going. And that's probably going to be the last game I follow this stream, but this was just Aegon. What happened to Aegon? This is true. Alright, so we're currently in East 4. We are following Prospero for not a lot of reason. And it's Debbie's first discard. Okay, so Debbie's last place, 19-1. Demo with the lead. And Solar and Prospero in a tight battle for second. So there can't have been a lot of significant hands. Let's have a look through the log, actually. So Debbie dealt into a couple of cheap hands. Prospero picked up a win. And a cheap win from Demo. Okay, that's fine. Just checking what's going on. Alright, so we're going to follow Prospero because his hand looks slightly more interesting. So, Ishanten for Prospero. Power of Aegon did win us that tournament. This is true. All hail Aegon. So Debbie with the early Dragon Call. Demo with Red 5. What do you do? Plays 6. Okay, so you're playing a little safely around things. Oh, fancy bread and fancy water. I mean, other than even with that call, Debbie's hand's still a little bit of a mess, but it's early enough that you can probably speculate on it. Ishanten for Demo. Like, did we beat you that one time? And the hope is that it's always yes. Okay, draw up 4. Probably want to get rid of the 1-2 here. You might get something more lucky into there. Red Dragon's fine as well for a discard. Still a way to go. Demo's almost certainly going to get there a little quicker. New player to Tiles of Confusion nonsense. So we're talking the Gadabouts, the Oracats, and anybody else who's turned up recently who isn't here today, unless you're in the background, in which case, hello. But it's always nice to play somebody you've played against and know you beat them. Oh, you just, yeah, so, hello, you're new. Did I beat you once? Yeah, so Debbie might, okay, so Debbie's getting rid of the 4 here. I mean, seems fair to try and switch this to Honitsu, but if you get as a free, then obviously that gets Ishanten as well, so. Bit of a way to go. Prospero's still got a bunch of honors to get rid of. How close is Solar? Solar is Ishanten as well. Alright, Reach from Demo. So, 4-7. Reach only, actually. Well, Reach 2 Dora. Which is still fine as dealer. But 3 tiles out. Goes for a call. So, Debbie's Ishanten with that call, but a few ways that'll work. She can call the 5 if she wants to go very aggressive and try and secure it. Going to a 9-7 weight. A 9-6 weight, sorry. Does so. Wind up in through. Triplet for 2s. Triplet for 2s mean you get 4. Well, you get 4 mini points, so you do get some foo. Okay, well, Draconis is on the multi-pairs plan at the moment, by the look of it. Or just the try and avoid things plan, I guess. Can't for Rinshan incoming. White Dragon's been played. Who you think? I suppose Demo could Khan. If the two's not been played by anybody. Oh, Debbie's changed the weight to 8'9" actually with that. I mean, it's not a lot better. It might even be worse.
No.
Fear of dealing in. Yeah. Well, Demo picks up 7-7 and continues the dealership. Prospero dips down into 4th place. Okay, let's see what Demo can do here then. So 2 Dora and what looks like a very nice hand. Possible 4-5-6 Sanshku at the high end of Magical Christmas Land, I suppose. So all looking very good. Who's likely to stop him? Prospero's hand is okay. So Solo's actually come to that. 7-7-9, 1-2-3. Yeah, okay. And what's Debbie up to? Debbie has Dora, 5-6-7-7-7. Very nice. Yeah, okay. So there's a few fast hands around here. Oh god, I don't have the tables in front of me, but I think that's correct. I wouldn't guarantee that, but I think you're correct on that one. There is a bit of crossover with the staggering of levels, so... Okay, so still getting a little loose things. 7 so for Debbie. Probably worth keeping that and just getting rid of the 8-man or something here, because it's the current loosest tile, unless you want to play a dragon. Yep, dragon's fine. One's already out, so you know it's reasonably safe. Okay, 4 so or 8-man then for Debbie. True. All right, thanks for joining us for a brief spell, Mono. We'll catch you another time. Okay, Prospero with a useful draw. Fortunately, that Dora in his hand is a bit isolated, but I can't see anyone's going to make an advantage of that at the moment. Again, though, the fear with a loose Dora you have to discard is that somebody will get Dora free out of it, which is never a good thing. Debbie discards the 8. It's probably still worth getting rid of the other 8 in her hand, because that's definitely isolated. The 8 could still be useful. Admittedly, it's pair run, so it's reasonably good as is, but you never know how things develop with that sort of setup. And that's unfortunately a slight backfire starting with 7 a couple of turns ago. Okay, everybody around the same position, 2 away or something like that. Alright, now you got to... Wow, okay. So she's looking to go into... Well, now she needs triplets, but she's looking to go into something really weird here. Well, we'll see how that develops. She could pivot into 7 pairs, I suppose, from that position. But decides not to. Tanio attack it is then. You want to get rid of your 2s or your 8s here. Decides to get rid of a 7. Which just... Okay, well, everybody started calling everything. Game has got a bit more interesting now, I suppose. So Debbie, call from Tenpai. As is Demo. Meanwhile, Prospero getting there, but again, still has the isolated 6. not sure I agree with that, because that's, again, isolating your 6. Well, I suppose you put yourself into a 4-7 weight, I guess, with one more. Well, rather a 4 weight, because there's nothing really left with that. So you can call that and go into the tempo, which you should do. Yep. Okay, so 4-7 weight then for Debbie, with only a 1-4 left in the wall. But a Tanyo tempo. Tanyo draw 1 anyway. Well, let's see how this out here. You might be able to bluff a table with this one. I don't know. We are technically into the 3rd row, so okay, east north. All right, 3 more draws for everybody. That 5 is going to give Demo tempo if he wants it. And he does. 4-7. Prospect picks up the pair of 7s. Does he keep going? Does decide to fold out with a 4. Oh, Debbie's still going. And last set of draws, why wouldn't you? 4's a useful tile for Prospero, but again, he's kind of folded out at this point, so I assume he'll continue and does. Oh, Soda just got himself into a 6 weight, but Demo folds. And it's 2-player tempo between the two of them, so correct decision on the Haito. And from the lead as well, admittingly. And what seems to have been a good deal around for him. Okay, Prospero's dealer turn. Let's follow. So, starting dealer. Dealer himself won with a pair of greens from last place. This seems like a reasonably good catch-up hand. Not a lot of effort required for this one as well. Meanwhile, Demo has got a pair of Dora in his opening hand. And, well, it's a little awkward because it's built around the edges. Let's see. No Green Dragon's currently out, so he's not going to get that early call, but that might actually help him. We'll see. I mean, he has 10 pie if he draws the 6-pin. Well, actually, he has 10 pie if he draws anything connected to it, but 6-pin gives him the 2-sided weight. So a good 10 pie, I suppose. Only problem is, if he draws the green, he has to pair something up after that, but that'll be what he's working on at the moment. Okay, so reach for the 6-pin if he wants it. Goes for it. So, early reach. For some foo, indeed. So, Demo went for a push for Chancer Dora 2. Or Junchan Dora 2. We'll see whether he continues with that plan. Folding with dragons for the moment, so not fully committed to it. Mind you, we'd have to get rid of one of the pairs anyway, and you're not getting rid of the pair of Doras here. So, Debbie has decided to discard the Dora. 6-pin picked up by Demo, which is the Tile of Death. Or the Tile of dealing into a 1,000-point hand for the dealer. Oh, you know, early reach, dealer, last place. Yeah, you need to. Fortunately, that 6 is now going to be incorporated into what Demo is doing. But still 2 in the wall. Meanwhile, Solar is looking interesting there. 3 pairs and a triplet. Yeah, and a reach stick. I mean, we know from his draw patterns he wouldn't have got anything more useful at this point. Hand is improved massively by a 4 or an 8, I guess, but even then, it's only really just giving you additional wins. It's not actually increasing the value. The only chance was really to get an early pair, which didn't happen. And I mean, I've got no problems with this, so. Well, yeah, but he wins it back. It's still resources when you're in last place. You clawed at everything in last place. But isn't really going to be able to challenge this. Debbie is pretty close. Especially with that 5 draw. Seems to be missing a pair, though, unless I'm missing something. Oh, 6 free weight. Yeah, no, you could... Wow. Yeah, he shan't it. Okay, that's fine. Well, Debbie's still enchanting with that call. I should work out how that changed for draw order, actually, if it was from there. So, nah, okay. No, it wasn't going to go to Prospero anyway. Prospero, however, is able to sumo anyway in spite of the change. And does he hit around? Hits 1. Okay, that's still fine. 3 harness dealer, 6,000 points is a start. You're now in a close battle for second, where you were in last place. So 1 more of those, and you're possibly battling for the win. Who knows? Okay, no, I'd say this is reasonable. Who else has got things at the moment? Pair of whites on Solar. Reasonable attacking hand to try and steal the dealership, I guess. Debbie's hand looks okay. Okay, so there's a few okay hands out there. But it's whether Prospero can start his comeback. Solar picks up a Fall Dragon. So Solar can now call anything to try and steal this dealership. If he wants to. Debbie is also quite close to a hand at this point. Just needs to get a pair somewhere. But Reach Pin Foodora 1 would also be a start of a comeback from what is now last place. Probably risking South here. Yeah. Alright, Dora free from Solar. Does he want it, or does he decide to fold it early? Probably. She does win a lot more often when she doesn't call. True, although this hand doesn't look immediately like it's going to be a Hanneman. Debbie doesn't take that, so get rid of the 8-9 here, I guess. Nope, decides to break up the pair that was in her hand. I mean, it would work. Yeah, having 3s and 8s in her hand, except this 8 and 9 would be much better for that. She wants to click that button. I mean, quite aside from anything else, there is a Sanchiki possibility here. Anyway, Prospero has hit Reach on the 8 pin, which at this point, with Tudora, absolutely reach this. A hand with a 3 and the 8 in it is so good. The 3, 8, and 2 included in that hand somewhere. So good. Oh dear. Oh well. Let's see how this goes. Just can't win a hand. This happens. Also, minor spoilers, which we'll accept at this point. I mean, from what we've been observing, you haven't been playing badly, so... Alright, Reach from Debbie, waiting on the 7, so... And as it turns out, you just gave 1,000 points to Prospero, but hey, that happens sometimes. So Reach in 2, as dealer, plus 4 Honda. Is that a cup? That is Gyakuten. Okay, the comeback is real, and this is a 4-pair starting hand. What's he going to do with it? Speaking of which, Sola has a pair of Dora. Debbie has South... That's a great starting hand for Debbie, I've got to be honest. I mean, a little awkward on this end, but I just love that little sequence of it. That was a good reach. Demo, pair of Easts in the wrong round. Needs a bit of help. But we'll see. Very nice. Yeah, so Debbie at this point I should be going for Toy Toy or Chi Toitsu. One of those two based on that draw. I mean, Toy Toy with South backup is fine, but... I mean, the bottom Chi Toitsu, yeah. That's closer, but I think I'll just talk about what Debbie should be doing in relation to this. Well, we'll see. This Chitoitsu could be good. Well, it depends what he draws here. No, you need to believe. Well, Debbie will take this. Gotta take this, surely. Yep. So, Toy Toy it is. Yeah, 7 over the 1, definitely. Because 1 was live. West, you could make an argument there's 1 out, but it's still probably worth keeping over the 7. No, I agree. West would be fine in most circumstances, even with 1 out. In fact, probably even because there's 1 out. It doesn't even have the stigma of being a live tile. Well, Debbie has 1, which is probably fine for what she's doing. Well, let's see. So accelerates Debbie again. So helping towards the Toy Toy. Yep. Need to go for this. Alright, has Tempai on the 4, which at the very least is a Tempai for the moment, but you'll want to change that for 5 or 3 if you get the chance. Yeah, stay with it, Debbie. Stay with it. All the 4s are in people's hands, so... Oh, actually, no, there's 1 4 left that she could draw. But ultimately, we're hoping for the improvements here. Alright, Sumo. South Dora 2. $52, and the game is back under 30, back to a 30k game. Debbie takes 3rd place. Here's the punish. Much punishment is for our all. Alright, Solar with a lot of Sozu in his hand. And seems to be making an early lead, or an early hopeful lead into a Honitsu here. Which wouldn't be a bad way to go about it. Debbie has gone for an aggressive starting call. So triplet for 9s, Wests, she's got Souths. I mean, she might be going for Toy Toy again. She could be going for Chanter, I suppose, as well, possibly. Get rid of the 4s, get some luck. But Toy Toy looks reasonable, at least. Normally, if I'm going Toy Toy, though, I like to have a bonus tile as a backup plan. Or at least some Dora. Okay, so I keeps draw some more Sozu tiles. Debbie is away for Toy Toy. And, well, not bluffing a Honitsu with a 1, and that got rid of, but... Okay, here we go. So we have Toy Toy versus Honitsu. Battle for the ages. Debbie really, if she's going for committing the Toy Toy, needs to play this 8 early. Before anybody else has a chance to be able to call it. But we'll see. Here's where she just draws another 8 and then Chinitsu's possible. It's got to wait. It's only 3 away from it, I suppose, but... Okay, 2 calls. So that's the Honitsu commitment. It might still go to Chinitsu. He'd probably go, if he gets any improvement to this, play a West, play a Green, and hope to, get rid of the second one with your next draw. In the meantime, Debbie takes that. Not massively helpful, I suppose, but at least puts it towards Tempai. Send help, please. Ah, that's unfortunate for Debbie. She's got a pair. Alright, what's going on in the other players? Because I don't really pay much attention to what Demo and Prosper are doing. Well, we'll see. Because similar to Chitoitsu, going Toy Toy, you want to really be on tiles that, people are likely to play at some point. If your Toy Toy is pretty much doomed if all your tiles are middle ones. Or the Sozu. Or Sanso, indeed. So, Prosper drawing a 6 here, debating some things. Playing a 4. Obviously worrying about the Honitsu. Oh, I'm not sure I agree with that call. Yeah, I don't agree with that call. Because you had far better shape and more options available without that, I've got to be honest. Still, 3 calls is, I suppose, a reasonable bluff for it. Oh, Debbie's drawn 2 Dora. Yeah, now that's a proper Toy Toy hand. Well, let's see what Prospero does here. The 8 is what Debbie wants. It's gone into a single weight. You've put Debbie into Tempai. Well, let's see. I mean, if Debbie wins this, it's now a monster hand. It's at least Mangan. And you have no defense against this either, so let's see. Gotta play the 4-pin. Debbie has just got to commit everything at this point, because why wouldn't you? Non-live green. Still worth going with the 8. Oh, Prospero's just hit 2. Prospero has so many Dora in his hand right now. That does kill any chance of Debbie getting a win off that one, but... Changes the 7 to 5. I guess there are more outs with 5 based on the information you have available, but not by many. And 7 was a safe tile to Debbie. So it was probably worth being on it for that reason only. Have you hit Chitoitsu? Yeah, that's Chitoitsu from Prospero now. Waiting on the same tile. Waiting on the same tile as Solar. Oh, that's going to be horrible. Oh, that's even worse. Oh, dear. Yep, I feel that. I feel that. Well, 2 more draws if you get that far. I mean, all 3 of these players should be all in, so... Six pin, 1 pin. Does there be Sumo? Nope. So does Prospero have the Haito? Nope, free play Senpai. So 5-5. Okay, well thankfully the horrible event of a 5 being played and Solar just losing his win to Prospero didn't occur, but hey. Okay, game carries on. So we'll see what Debbie can do this time, not going Toito, discarding the 5 that would have been a pair in a hand. Okay, fine. Yeah, so it looks to have the best of the opening hands based on just a casual glance. Demos isn't too bad, actually. But nothing explosive going out there. Yeah, Prospero had a monster with so many Dora. Given the number of Dora he had, it could have been the correct decision to Dama that. But if he's not going to change his weight, and he was on a 5 anyway at that point, and with against 2 hands that were basically there, and one of them being a Chinitsu for that tile, I can understand why the Riichi is the correct decision there in that basis. Yeah, I'll have to have a quick look back and find out how much that was actually worth, but I'm fairly certain he was looking at least Hanneman just on board, even Dama. Probably Byman with a reach. Because his hand was extremely shiny. Let's see, Debbie with a few bits and pieces. Yeah, this is an interesting tight game, and I like these. All right, no worries, Rise. Thanks for joining us. But it's probably going to be the next big hand that wins it. What data center? oh, okay. Of course, Final Fantasy 14 Mahjong. There's enough. Rise has revealed information that was dangerous for Chiral to know. Or dangerous for to let Chiral know, anyway. Reasonable draw from Debbie. At the points of getting rid of one of her pairs, gets rid of the West. So, Ishan turn for Debbie. Meanwhile, 7 pairs potentially for Prospero. He's going to backdoor into it, or just... nope, just discarding. Knows nothing about Final Fantasy XIV, or any Final Fantasy since 10.2. Actually, no, tell a lie. I don't mind Final Fantasy 12. That's grown on me, although I didn't like it when it first came out. Alright, Ishan 10 for solo with Tudora. And that is Riichi. No, doesn't go for the Riichi at this point. She is in Tenpai. She will win on a free 6, but has decided to Dharma for whatever reason. Zodiac Age, yeah, that's the one I picked up. But I remember getting to the airship dungeon the first time I played 12, and just at that point I realized, why am I still playing this game? This was the non-Zodiac version when I first got it. I borrowed it from somebody. I just got to that stage and thought, why am I still playing this? I'm not invested. At least on 12. Oof. That'd be pricey. Why hasn't Debbie reached this? He's clearly been able to for a few turns. I mean, I can see that the free 6s are mostly dead, but it's just, I'm surprised it hasn't happened. Oh well. There's no real improvement available, it's just Pinfu. Oh, she's not trying an Itsu, is she? Okay, no, she decides to do that. Okay, fine. Waited about 4 turns for it, but hey. Another 6 appears in somebody's hand, so there are, I think, 2 winning tiles left. Demo has also hit Tenpai and is staying dumber on a 6-9. Oh, that's unfortunate. Thankfully, there wasn't a counter reach, so that is just Pintu Nomi. But unfortunate. All right, Debbie's dealer turn then, as we go into South 3. Nobody passed the 30k threshold. Free hand, dealer win. Will put you on top. And Debbie has a good starting hand. Spoilers, sir. Spoilers. And also, madam. Oh, well. Anyway. Let's have a look then. So Debbie has a reasonably good starting hand here. It's just whether she can develop it further. Ipeco would be a nice sort of upgrade for it. Actually, points could also mean a draw state, I suppose. It's not entirely spoilers that he won a hand. They could have been, though. Okay, Debbie correctly not calling that one. I mean, in fairness, Debbie's Tenpai if she draws a 3 or an 8 here. For an upside of Riichi Peiko. What's the challenge coming in from this? Sola has Dora. Demo has Dora. So's got a little way to go. So Debbie is the fastest if she can make it happen. Khan? I did say to Khan everything. I was correct! Let it be known that my advice was correct. Khan Riichi. Unfortunately, it's for the Dora indicator, and I see two others out there, so this is a basically dead hand. But I was still correct with the Khan Riichi. Oh dear. My advice has done something, and it's probably going to lose Debbie this hand. Good news is Demo is playing safe against it. Prospero is... Unfortunately, it's the Sanso, and Prospero's drawn something that allows him to connect it in, which means it's not coming out of either of their hands. It's also the indicator, so that is, unfortunately, the end of Debbie's chances of winning this. But she might pick up the draw, which should be fine. Unless Prospero can work around it, which he might be able to do. Believe in the spleen of the tiles, or whatever it is. Ooh, interesting. That might push a free out at some point. If he get if Prospero hits Ipeka, that might put the Sanso out. But that's the only long shot I can see with this. Given that 4 is Vidora, there's no way Solar's playing it. No, absolutely. I said to Khan everything. It works. And there is rarely a thing wrong with Kanri. Well, as I say, the only chance I see of this happening is if Prospero picks up another Dora and gets the Ipeko. I mean, even then, it's probably still worth keeping the Friso in hand when you've got that, but that's the only chance I see it coming out. No, of course. I mean, it's still correct. I'm just saying it from a practical state of how the game is. Okay, counter reach. Waiting on the 7 so. Which also looks mostly dead, although actually there's one left. No, of course. Go on, Prospero. You can draw that 4 so. You can draw that 4 so and make a decision. Ah! That is unfortunate. Mangan. Still nobody over this 30k threshold. As we enter South 4 demo. Okay. So this could very well be the end of it here. If Demo wins any hand, he goes over 30k and wins. So how quickly can Demo put together 1,000 points? From Debbie's perspective, she kind of needs a set of those Norths since they're bonus tiles for her. So draw North very quickly and hope to chain a couple of things together. Any sumo from Debbie, or actually it probably is just Debbie, puts us into a West round. Which, you know, we like to see a sudden death West round. But Debbie's best shot here of any kind of comeback is to draw another North. However, additional Dora is never a problem. And she does now have multiple pairs and a triplet, so could go for Chitoy. Has played North, though, which I don't necessarily agree with, but we'll see. Meanwhile, Demo's not had a lot of luck in his initial draws to try and accelerate this to 1,000 points. Well, Debbie calls. And, I mean, 2 is still the least tile there. There is the possibility of an upgrade to Honitsu, I suppose, as well, but I think Toy Toy is the more likely consideration here. Well, I mean, speaking you may receive, this could be it. If Debbie goes on a bit of a winning streak, that would happen. Toy Toy and 1 is what she's looking at the moment. A couple away. Meanwhile, somebody has just hit tempo. That would be... Actually, technically Debbie. Technically Debbie's in tempo on a 3-6, but... Actually, no, there's a winning tempo on a 3-6. What am I talking about? Yeah, she is Dragon. Obviously, I'm looking at Dragon Toy Toy, but, you know. She also has the Khan Everything ability at the moment, if that comes up. Ooh, that is extremely nice. She's got Sun Anko. She plays 4 or 5. She has Sun Anko, Toy Toy, Dora. That is a huge hand here. Yeah, that is a huge hand, actually. No, she can't. She's not the dealer, unfortunately. Ah, darn it. Oh, well. Yeah, the hand was bigger before she did that. However, she just hit Dora 4 off that. Jeez. Okay, ignore me. Ignore me. I don't know what I'm talking about. And I said can't everything. She also wins on the 6, which is interesting now. So it's 5 or 6. Or she can change it for a... no, she probably doesn't want to change it because all the 5s are gone. But wow, this is... yeah, that has worked. Does Demo want to try and counter this for 1,000 points? Decides not to. I can't blame her, given that you're looking at potential Hanneman down. Yeah, no, that's Hanneman over there. That pretty much ends your shot at winning unless you get lucky. Do not deal into that if you can avoid it. Yeah, I mean, it worked out fine, but I'd probably still have been preferred to have kept the Toy Toy Sananko Dora, which would have been Mangan. But again, this is upgraded Hanneman, so... But only by a luck of tiles, I guess. Certain Mangan versus possible Hanneman. Oh, if a 7 gets played here, this is just kind of silly. Yeah. Oh, she could. Sankansu. I've had one opportunity, one hand that has got close to getting a Sankansu. But no, that 7's staying in this hand. I don't see him ever. I don't see Demo ever playing that, so... Yeah, just continually playing safe, which is exactly what you want to be doing when you see Hanneman against you. Prospero's drawn a pair of Norths. Is it gonna... Needs to cut one of the pairs, but he'll cut 9 over 6 almost certainly. No, decides to cut the Norths, and he knows they're safe to Debbie, so yeah, that's the safety play. Alright, 3 more draws for something ridiculous. Looks like Debbie's just going to pick up a draw, which is a shame given everything, but hey, that's the way Mahjong goes sometimes. Especially as Toy Toy is generally an easy one to defend against, you just discard what you can see. But one more draw to make something happen then. Oh, she got it, and another Dora. That is somewhat ridiculous. Fireman. Debbie takes the lead going into West 1. Okay, West 1 following Prospero. So, first one to crack 30,000 wins. You are the dealer. You have the advantage. Oh, you missed a blinder of a hand. I'm going to have to go back for this. Sorry. I realize there's live things going on, but you've got to appreciate the madness of Debbie here. So, we're just going to play this on at high speed, and you can just observe the masterful play that was going on here. So obviously, in low position, you have a dragon. You have picked up some triplets, and Debbie immediately identifies Toy Toy as a potential answer. Especially as she's now picked up a additional door as well, has the 7s as well. 5s and 7s unlikely to be gotten from a Toy Toy position, but hey. There's the first one. Dragon, no argument there. You play the dragon, you call the dragon, you do that. So you have dragon as a backup for whatever else you're doing. Yeah, I mean, I admitted that she wanted Fedora, but then she picks up the triplet of the 5. The only other mistake I think I would have called it for wasn't a mistake. Yeah, 779 would have been fine in this position, but she's got bigger ambitions. She's got Sananko Toy Toy at this point. And then decides to Khan this, which, you know, is a mistake up until the point that happens. To be fair, was a mistake, but you can't argue with just casually revealing 5 Dora. Alright, some nonsense is happening in the actual game, which we will have to get back to. But no spoilers, please. Yeah, so we had Sananko Toy Toy Dora versus that Khan, and I did tell her to Khan everything. That was the one point that probably would have backfired in most positions. As it turns out, though, you now have Dragon Dora 5 and a Hanneman showing. Plus Toy Toy, potentially. But even then, you've got a 560 regular weight, so you're doing fine. And of course, nobody's going to attack this. The game is tight. You're not happening there. Yeah, as I say, 5.6 is a good weight. I mean, to be fair, the 6 would still give you Hanneman, even if it was that. It's not Sananko anymore because of the Khan. Yeah, I suppose, but she summos that anyway and just goes for Dora 6. So, you know. And yes, for Toy Toy as well. And there's the Binen. I'm officially, you know, it's the you still had a Hanneman at that point with the Sananko Toy Toy Dora. So, that's fine. Anyway, let's cancel the logs and just see where we are in the West round. So, we are still behind Debbie, but we are actually going to move behind Prospero. So, this is the chase for 30k. And we can see that Solar is going for something a little ambitious, but might be successful. You never know. Again, I've got enough points, and yeah, it's very pretty. Debbie also looking for potential leagues. I mean, Debbie needs 1,000 points to win, and she has Dora Dragons, unfortunately. That game's still going on. Just noticing that as well. Okay, well, let's see. Prospero probably wants to call this because Tenpai is probably better than not right now. Yep. I mean, it worked. You can't argue with Dora 5 as a result. And I did tell her to Khan everything. Okay, so Prospero hits Tenpai on a 5-8 and is immediately followed up by Solar with a many-sided weight. I'd have to actually work this one out. 2, 3, 4, 5. I think it's a 4 or 5-sided weight. Unless I'm misreading things. Meanwhile, Debbie's actually got herself into a 7-pin Tenpai as well. Yakulus, unfortunately, with that 7-pin, but... yeah. Unfortunately. There's a lot of interesting hands going on here at the moment. But this is what a West this is what West looks like. It looks like basically... Yeah, Debbie can't win with that, unfortunately. It is a winning tile, but she can't win with it. There we go. There's the reach you should have done a little while ago, because that meant... Actually, that might not be the worst reach in the world, considering. Because 1,000 points wins you the game, so... But if she'd have reached before that... Well, they probably wouldn't have played the 7 into it, but let's be honest, but you know. Also, I think that 7's dead, yeah. Is Demo debating a discard for... Oh, it's a high tier discard, so not sure what the pause is here. Just run out of safe tiles, or doesn't want to play green? Run out of safe tiles, I think, might be the answer here. Plays the red 5. Okay, it was a 4-sided weight. I just misread it. But yeah, so 2, 5, 8, 9. Yeah. If only Debbie had reached. But she gets her points back from the reach stick, so she's still 1,000 points from victory as we go into West 1 Honda. Debbie has a pair of Wests. That's all she needs. If she can make that work. Double reach! 3-6. Double reach from Solar for the win. He has Dora. This will do it. Best way of playing against the double reach in this position, just try and play your normal game out as much as you can. Well, Debbie's hand's not the worst, but it does have a couple of awkward problems. Yeah, Solar should be okay with this. It's not the worst. It's a 6-tile weight, based on just what he can see. It is 3-6, so middle tiles for that. Double West, of course. Oh, I forgot. Yeah, of course, double West. I mean, she doesn't need double West. She only needs West. She needs 1,000 points. So here, you'd probably want to play East if you're going to play anything at this point. You could play South. We'll see. So looking for Toy Toy or just getting a finished hand at this point. I mean, really, your option was whether you go for the 5-8 versus that, actually. I think that's the thing. If you'd have actually discarded the 6 instead, I think you'd have been better off. A 5-8 weight is probably more likely, at least with the 8 on the edge. Double 6. So, Debbie potentially Chitoitsu. Potentially Sananko. Prospero's hand's developing quite fast. East played, East played. Oh, there's a 7. Additional options there. Yeah, it's still not over. This is continuing for a bit. Oh dear. I actually am going to minimize this. I don't want to know when this ends. Just as much as possible, save your GGs until after we've got to this point. Don't tell us when this ends, because that's information. I've now minimized that window, so I can't see what the current state of the game is. I'll tell you what, though, this has been an epic. This is one I might have to go back and actually properly analyze later. As well as Egan's game, of course. So Debbie with the double West. Problem is, she may discard the 6s unless she decides to commit to the Toy Toy here. Yeah, if you'd gone 5-8, you might have been able to manage it. Although, admittingly, actually, if you'd have gone 5-8, there's a chance. No, Demo was just following your discard. That was done automatically. You don't go into North round, I don't think. I say I don't think because I'm never quite sure on this, but I don't think you go into Into north, I think it just ends at west 4. Mind you, we're still in west 1, so it's not as if it's it's quite got to that stage at this point. Yep, thank you. Prospero want to keep attacking? Doesn't. So there's still 2 that Solar could draw. He's not dead at the moment. I mean, at this point, Debbie just needs to get to Tenpai. When you're this close to winning, Tenpai is all important, because if you can get a Tenpai advantage, you can get yourself over the 30k that way, which would be enough to win. So, Tenpai is very important for a lot of these players at this point. He has played once or twice in here, actually. Yeah, so Debbie should discard the 6 pin and, well, goes for that instead. Reach from Demo. 1,000 points on the table, and it is on a 9-6 pin through weight. Needs a lot of luck for this to go correctly for him, but... Oh, I see what's going to happen here. That 6 is going to be Solar's win, but Demo is going to snap it. Is that the prediction I'm seeing here, with not many discards left? Some do, but Sol doesn't. Yeah, there's a lot of points available. However, Red Dragon is safe, so that the eventuality that I saw doesn't happen. We go to Exhaustive Draw. Debbie now needs a 2,000 point hand to take the win. Solar needs, as dealer now, needs a 2-Han hand. Alright, so Solar, 2-Han hand, has double 9 as Dora. Let's see how this goes. Alright, starting with the 4, keeping the pairs open there. I mean, to be fair, even 1-Han is fine with the amount of reach sticks and things that are on there. The bonus tiles themselves will win the game for anybody who isn't Demo right this second. So... 5-6. Actually, Prospero needs a 2-Han hand, but, you know. Let's see then. Can you make the Dora 2 thing work? Meanwhile, what is everybody else looking at? Debbie also has 2 Dora, which means Debbie's got enough points. I mean, to be fair, you have 2 Dora in your hands, so yeah. 2 Dora would have been enough, even ignoring those. But, yeah, your hand is looking towards that. Yeah, I mean, to be fair, I assume that Debbie didn't win. And I assume that Solar didn't win. But, you know, it's fine. It's not something I care too much about, but I do like the experience of not knowing the answer until we get to that point, if we can. Especially when I'm doing commentary on a game that I'm actually invested in, which I am. Either that or Solar and Debbie are very good actors. We'll find out. Yep. That's looking good for Jun-chan at the moment. Overkill for what you need, unfortunately, but equally your hand has really just sort of gone that direction. Although with the 8s, you'd probably be looking at Chitoitsu first. Also, I should have closed that a while ago. Somebody should mention those sorts of things to me. Yeah, it's awkward from this position, unfortunately. Keeping the pair of 8s or keeping the, at least the Sozu 8 would have been awesome. But hey, what's Debbie up to? I mean, Debbie's hand is not too bad. 8-9's a little awkward in there, but if you can get lucky getting the 7 or just gets rid of that in the next 2 upgrades, then that's a nice sort of pin through hand, which is all you really need. Okay, getting there. Probably should be cutting the 8 here. Yeah, so it's a limited number of tiles available, unfortunately, which is always the problem you run into with this. But you can open call a 9 for this. So, demo with a reach. And it is a reasonable reach, 5/8. And a Dora. So, reach, Dora. 5,600 additional points. I don't know against that reach, honestly, but yeah. Could have been. Is now Tenpai waiting on the 8 pin. I mean, now you're at Tenpai, it's fine. Any Tenpai will do if it's enough to win you the game. But it's an awkward one. It's also the indicator that you're waiting on, which means there's automatically one less. As it effectively, it's a help. Actually, no, effectively, it's the last one in Debbie's hand. Because obviously, Prospero's got 1. 1 is the indicator, 1's in your hand. So Debbie is the only one who can deal into Solar's hand with this, unfortunately. Meanwhile, how's Debbie doing? She is Ishanten with that draw, I think. So it's possible. Oh, that's going to be a deal in. Yeah, unfortunately. Is that enough to end the game? No. Possibly. $8,000 plus the numbers on the board. That's 13,600. That is just enough, and that crosses the line. Demo picks up the win in what was a very tight and very interesting match. Got to be honest. Really, I enjoyed that one. Well, GG to the participants. I'm going to call that a stream because this has already gone on for 3.5 hours, which is far longer than most of these normally go through. Kind of tilted. I mean, West rounds are always stressful, and especially as they come at the end of a tight game. But yeah, I mean, even ignoring the fact you had 2 Dora, as Carol says, there was 4,200 in the pot. You just need any hand to win it. But GG anyway. Well played to all of you, and I will catch you all next week for another one. So, until then, feel free to poke me in the Discord or just post things there. I may do some proper analysis on that last game because I did really enjoy it, and there are probably some lessons to be taken from it. But we'll see. Catch you later.